are live.
Shalom, family.
Shalom. I'm going to tip this over to my brother. We got our brother Uriel in the building to the left of me. You know what I'm saying? Got something to say for the people. We're coming live tonight, man. Hot topic again. Interracial mixed marriages. Is it a sin? Everybody want their snow bunnies. It's wintertime. They want their snow bunnies. So we go ahead and let them know about the snow bunnies.
I'm with it.
Shalom. What's going on with Iris Stephen? NehemiYAH. Shalom. How you doing, NehemiYAH? Set Apart Living. Hey, check out NehemiYAH channel, man. She has a lot of natural holistic things, just like NehemiYAH has on her channel. I'm definitely a subscriber and a follower and promoter. I always shoot her information around. Demetrius, where you at, man? Pull up. You know you local. You ain't got no excuse. Get on down here to the headquarters, bro.
Come on with it.
Come on home. Shalom, Queen Things, Proverbs 31. Blessings and glory to your family and your husband. Tell him I said shalom, shalom. Princess NehemiYAH, shalom, Shebrew. Did you come off of Facebook? Princess NehemiYAH, did you not on Facebook no more? Shalom, OTM, Watchman, shalom. What's up, E, baby? It's your biggest brother, King Kong and his deal. With little brother. Shalom, the almighty queen. What's it? Almighty queen. Almighty queen. Pull up. Pull up. Almighty queen, boy. I ain't heard one of them strong titles like that, boy, in a long time. Sipping on some of the finest water. Okay, it's not the finest, but it's water. So yeah, man, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go ahead and try to not run y'all too hard tonight, man. We're gonna be pretty live and direct. I don't have no videos to show. We're gonna talk about this interracial marriage, man. And look, it's not just a physical thing, it's also spiritual. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because every nation has a deity or entity governing it. You see what I'm saying? So spiritually, is it okay for me to go lay with another nation? Physically, is it good? That means you're saying it's good for me to go lay with another nation's God. Ooh. Ooh. What are you saying, homie? Shalom, Wadi P, pull up. All right, I know you too far, man, but it sounded good, though. Soul Treen. Shalom Azal. Lisa Henry. Shalom Shebrew. So we move in the spirit. That's right, that's right. But see, that's why you have to go over some of these, you know, first that anybody who claims to be a teacher, let them first, you know, be taught again by the oracles. You know what I'm saying? Because the Torah, you know what I'm saying, is actually the shadow of things to come. So when Christ get on the scene, you should see the full manifestation of Torah in the flesh. How it's supposed to be perfectly operated, right? So yeah, we definitely gotta and listen, for a lot of our brothers, you know what I'm saying, especially the one I sent out there, one video about the one brother with his hand out. I ain't gonna talk about him. I did enough. I just wanted to raise the awareness in Israel. But hey, look, I got screenshots. Brother say that he love his snow bunnies and they snow monies. I say that's great. That means you ain't never got to ask me no more. He said he love his snow bunnies and his snow monies. Bro, I can't make this up, man. Hold on, bro. Let me show you. Let's show you something. Oh, yeah, too, family. Guess what? The house of NehemiYAH has increased one more child. So there's another grandbaby born today, a Tommy. Tommy is the baby's name. A little 6-pounder, 13 ounces, a little 19 inches. You know what I'm saying? I think 19 and a quarter. So we got the short legger. So I think there's about 16 grandchildren. I actually need to start going and take account. I need to do inventory. I need to do inventory on these grandchildren, brother. Yeah, I'm about at 16 of these deals. Shalom, Venetian. Man, Venetian, pull up, man. You going off. Yeah, so definitely a new baby in the midst. So this is the last baby from the house of NehemiYAH this year. I don't know what them children gonna pull off next year. So that's all on them. My two lovely ladies, they ain't messing with me on that level. No more children for you, NehemiYAH. No more children. No more children. So, all right, then. Told out to everybody, Lamb's book, Shalom, Lamb's Book of Life. How you do, Shebrew? Definitely, man. The Most High is definitely blessing, definitely increasing. Shalom, my little set tripping thugnificent, A Baby Junior, Ashley Gaither. E Baby, A Baby, boy. There was some two sisters there, boy. Hey, love them sisters, boy. Yeah, A Baby is a firecracker, boy. She did little. She had that little puppy syndrome. That little puppy syndrome. That little barker-like. oh, Dino and Fred Flintstone alike.
There you go with all these alikes.
Shalom, I just got the phone. Hey, Howard Brown, get off the internet, boy. You supposed to be getting your back whipped right now. Massa, he on the internet. He's going off. Shalom, what's it? Rasheen, Shalom. So we'll get this praying. We'll jump right into the topic. Just want to do a few shout outs. I already shared it across multimedia. I shared it on Facebook. So if I shared it on Facebook, it hit Twitter and all that. We load in the room. We got 33 going on. Agdino, Shalom is down. And Shalom to everybody. In case I forgot anybody, if I see, while we get ready to start, we're going to get this prayer. What songs we coming in with?
1:30.
So we're going to start off this evening with this prayer. I'm going to try the short run tonight. Dun, dun, dun.
It never happens.
It never happens. So Psalm 130 is the opening prayer. All right. You know we love you, A Baby, E Baby, Bad Babies. I'm going to call y'all the Bad Baby Twins. All right, y'all. We're going to turn to the east. You know how we do. No Muslims, no rocking, no Mecca. You know what I'm saying? We turn toward the east, according to 1 Kings 8. We get carried away to another land, turn back to where?
The Holy Land.
Turn back to the Holy Land. Why is that? Because that's where our Elohim is dwelling at, right? So he don't want you to deal with the land where you at, Elohim. Holler back at me. Pray toward me. Come and holler at me in my feast in my land. See how this is bigger? Jerusalem, which one you want, the above or below? And above sits right what? Above the below one.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we're shooting for.
That's right.
That's how these classes flow together. I didn't even know he was putting that class. Boy, excellent class. I still be talking about your class in this day.
All praise to bro.
All right, y'all, let's get it.
Psalms 130 with the Most High's permission. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If thou, Lord, shouldest mark iniquity, O Lord, who shall stand? But there is forgiveness with thee.
That's right.
That thou mayest be feared. I wait for the Lord. My soul do await, and in his word do I hope. My soul waited for the Lord more than they that watch for the morning. I say, more than they that watch for the morning. Let Israel hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is mercy.
That's right.
And with him is plenteous redemption, and he shall redeem Israel from all his transgressions. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Selah. Yahoo. That's our Hebrew clapper like brother Malachi. Still riding that horse. No, he actually getting a whole lot better, y'all. A whole lot better, man. Y'all prayers are working. Definitely Most High dealing with the brother. And listen, brother stayed study. I think we done actually lost him. He studied probably more now than he even did before. With all that sit down time. That boy been going in. He always hitting somebody up in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Say, hey, check this out. What you think? What you see? Here go to power. Like, you stay on work. So your brother ain't gone quiet in the night.
I sure was watching all the videos.
Man, definitely a plug with so many videos from everything from morning. Some of the morning meditations I share with y'all. If y'all want to be added to the list, hit the email in the link below, and NehemiYAH forward it to me. Morning meditation, man, those scriptures about Yah early in the morning, and motivation about I am and what I will be and won't be doing today. Man, hey, those things be powerful, especially right behind the morning prayer. So yeah. So let's go ahead and get ready to dive on in, y'all. Hot topics. I ain't finna do the windy windows run over to my seat.
But last time I seen her, boy, she saw a spirit, boy.
Boy, and was gone.
I thought that was it for.
Hey, over with style. All right, y'all. So we're gonna start off in Proverbs. All right, we're gonna jump right into it. So we're gonna understand that the Most High's word that He gives us is pure. Because listen, what you find a lot is people always talking about, well, what about this? What about this? See, I tell people sometimes you find out that you probably don't believe as much as you thought you did. So your problem won't be with me. Shalom with it, Marcus. Yahisha, Yah's woman. All praises. Yah's Isha, Yah's woman. That's right. Shalom is thou, August dreams. How art thou? Hey, do me a favor. We got 48 people in here, 49 people. I should have 49 likes. Remember how we talked about this? So do me a favor, y'all. Everybody that's in here, do your brother a kind service and hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm that YouTube uses to send this out across multi-platforms, especially those who are like mine. So other Israelites and other congregations and other fellowships and can get this, and this work can go forth even further out in the digital world, in the digital worlds. So, all right, so we're going to start off. We got the opening prayer with Psalms 130. We're going to start off with Proverbs 30 and 5. We're going to see if the Most High's word is really pure. Let me get the big boy. I'm a little blind of light. Oh, that's one of my classes, ain't it? I know it's a book. I told y'all, man, I be putting these big old book classes together. Anyway, but we're going to be Mina J, just in time. Said Philadelphia. Sniper. That's what you call the shooter. I don't know what it is. How many, Jay? I just killed your whole. Look, whatever Melly had going for you, I killed.
He just destroyed.
Is that Roz? Is that our sister Roz from Arkansas? Our militant light? All right, so interracial marriage, y'all. Is it a sin? So some foundational scriptures. So we're going to see if the word of God is pure. And then again, so when we start going into the word and start seeing what these things is, your problem ain't with me. The problem is with the word of God. That's what you have a problem with. I'm cool. It say don't do something, don't do it. Make it just as easy as those who came to the truth and found out you weren't supposed to eat pork. That was one of the hardest and / easiest things that most Israelites got on when they got this truth. No pork, I'm cool. I stopped eating pork alone. So listen, as you grow in this truth, you gotta that's right, Arkansas in the house. Poppy shoe. I just killed it again. Hey, brother, I'm telling you, I'm a singer like. Okay, listen. Let me let y'all know something. I never said I was a good singer, but I sing good. Okay, so look. I'm actually not a good singer, but I sing good. We don't know what the hell we just said. All right, let's go ahead and get it. Proverbs 30 and 5.
Proverbs 30, verse 5. Every word of God is pure.
Is what?
It's pure.
It's unpure.
It's pure.
It's no good.
It's pure.
It's pure.
Pure. How you say it? I say
pure.
Pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him.
So when you want to deal with the whole armor of God and like how David understood and how Solomon understood that the Most High is their shield.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Not to start David, but I ain't going down that route tonight. Not tonight. I leave that to everybody else, the intellectual lights. So we understand the word of God is pure. Right. Those who walk in his word and choose to trust in the Most High, this is your shield. So if somebody get mad at you about interracial relationships, polygyny, Sabbath keeping, put the Most High in front of you and let the word be your shield. You see what I'm saying? So that's how we're going to stand in this hour. So we're gonna hit that Isaiah. Give me Isaiah chapter Isaiah 1, 3 through 7. And we're gonna find out, and the reason why I'm pointing because the thing is, some of the classes I do, we all know that they be hot topics, or some will call controversials or whatever like that. But I'm not in the business of minuscuting, minimizing God's word at any level. Because first the person say, well, everything is lawful but not expedient. They take one chapter, go find one verse, and make that a new doctrine. Songbite doctrine. Bitter lights. Songbiter lights. You see what I'm saying? So, Shalom, simply J, I see your name. Kilam olam kasado. Shalom is thou. So, we're going to read Isaiah chapter 1, and I think we'll start at 3 and 7, right? Because when we find out what's wrong with Israel, that means it helps us, at least should help us figure out how to fix Israel, aka ourselves. Right. All right. So let's start here. I'm gonna type it in the room while he get ready to start reading. And I'm not even gonna do a whole lot of heavy definitions. I'm gonna type this stuff in. If I need to hit a definition or so, let me know. But a lot of this stuff is kind of clean cut. So I say we shouldn't be too long tonight, but we're gonna get some scriptures in. Not get it twisted. We will be in this Bible. So we're in Isaiah 1, 3 through 7.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel.
But who?
But Israel.
So Israel is the topic here. Israel is the focus. It's not plugged up anyway. Oh, okay. Israel is not the focus. But I can come up just a tad bit further just to make sure you're good. All right, that's the wrong hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we good. Hey, can we get a 7 and we can be heard pretty good? I just want to make sure y'all can hear Uriah. You know, you don't like using his outside voice that often. So I know if I go here on Facebook, on YouTube, and I see this post, I should have 50 likes in the room by now. Hey, August, can you do me a favor, Shebrew? Do your famous like, share, thumbs up post that you do so well. Shalom is thou Todd Telly. All right, let's get it. So we know that the ox knows his owner. The ass does know his master's crib, aka I did not just use a curse word. But Israel
do not know.
That is the problem. The problem with the so-called Negro today, reason why he has a problem with everything, right? His finances, his romances, his dealings in the community, dealings at the job, dealings with his homeboys, homegirls with homegirls. The reason why all y'all have these problems, because y'all don't know who y'all are. If y'all don't know who y'all are, y'all don't know how to operate. If you don't know how to operate, how do you move and navigate? You know what I'm saying? You're just a ship with no sail sitting in the middle of the water until your boat sinks. You see what I'm saying? So know who you are, know whom's you are, and that way you'll know how to act. Now, if you claim you Israel, which I believe the 60 people in this room do believe that they are Israel, you see what I'm saying? Then let this be our truth. Let this be our rubric. Let this be our foundation, as Christ is what? The cornerstone, right? He is the living word. It says it. We say we believe it. Adhere to it. So let's go ahead and find out the faults in Israel again. Isaiah 1. Go ahead and finish that out. 3 through 7.
My people do not consider.
That's the problem. We have not even considered.
A sinful nation.
A what nation?
A sinful nation.
A sinful nation. That means what? A lawless, wicked nation. This is our faults.
That's right. A people laden with iniquity.
Ooh.
A seed of evildoers.
You see that? Seed, sperm, cell, right? Because half of us are teaching our children pagan doctrines, worships, every which manner of doctrine that flows this way and that way, right? If you don't have the doctrine of God, you have the doctrine of death. Plain, simple, clear cut. And Shalom McFadden. Go ahead, Op.
Children that are corrupters.
They are who?
Corrupters.
It's the same Isaiah who wrote 3 and 12 say children shall rule over them. And, children should be their oppressors. Women should rule over them. You see what I'm saying? Woe unto my people that cause thee to what? Error. See what I'm saying? All right.
They have forsaken the Lord.
This is the Negroes today's problem. You have a God problem. You don't have a finance problem, a home problem. You know what I'm saying? A relationship problem where you do, because you don't do the way relationships are designed in these scriptures, given by the man who designed these scriptures and the same Elohim who designed you. So that's the problem. And what I'm doing right now is showing you that these things are pure. The word of God is pure. We should adhere to it. If we adhere to it, then he is our shield. And then also, we're going to see the faults in Israel by not doing or becoming like these people, which we really are. Evildoers, sinful nation, laden with iniquity, right? Corrupters. That's our children. Keep going.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel into anger. They are gone away backwards.
Going away forwards.
Backwards.
Sideways.
Backwards.
You ain't even lateral in this truth. You going all the way back.
Why should ye be stricken anymore?
See there? The question, why should you be stricken anymore? If you come back to this law, statutes, commandments, and the full faith of Christ, you won't be stricken. If Israel right now repent, it tells you in them pseudos and the man, this thing will be over with. You want to get rid of this problem in America? Turn back to your God and repent. This thing will be over with ASAP. Today, right now. It'll be over with, finito. Let's get it.
Ye will revolt more and more.
That's what happened.
The whole head is sick.
The who?
The whole head is sick.
We, and that's dealing with Israel, right? So the head of Israel is the men of Israel, right? The head is sick. And that's true because we off. Guess what else off? Our wives are off. Our children are off. Our communities are off. Our assemblies are off. Everything dealing with this whole thing is off. So when the heads of Israel is off, which in this we dealing with Israel, because he ain't talking about Christ. Christ ain't off. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't the head he's talking about that's sick. He's talking about the men of Israel that lead Israel, us the shepherds, because Isaiah's one of the prophets that go in on them shepherds. Ezekiel too. You see what I'm saying? They'll tell you about it. There go my August. August, you are the awesomest. So make sure y'all do what August say. Show support, hitting that like button. Shalom, Yehoshaphat. Ben Yisrael, what it do, Israel?
The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. From the sole of the foot even to the head, there is no soundness in it.
There's no soundness in it, right? And then we're supposed to be teaching sound doctrine. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't coming with these scriptures, anything above, below, beyond, lateral, hydro, whatever, perpendiculars, transverse lines, whatever, all of those are prep. All right, it's cool. All those preppy lines are misconstrued. Don't y'all laugh at me.
From the sole of the foot even into the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises.
Wounds and bruises. You walking around here knocking your head. You walking around here with a whole lot of lumps.
And petrifying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with the ointment.
So you ain't been healed at all. Right. And this word is the healing. It is the refreshing. It is the very thing that can solve your God problem. The Negro problem is a God problem. That's what you have. You done broke the covenant. You done went off. You want to do what you want to do. You want to do everything your way. You want everything to bow down to you, and you ain't giving nothing back but mouth and lip service. That's what Juvenile them told me back when they was hot boys. All they giving is mouth and lip service. Many say, Lord, Lord. You don't say, but their hearts are what? Depart from me, you what?
Workers of iniquity.
And what he just say up here? People laden with iniquity. Ooh-wee. Don't get caught in that line, y'all. If it's easy and fun doing it, and you know it's against the Most High, you will get your reward. I wouldn't do it if I was you.
Verse 7. Your country is desolate.
There you go. How is Israel right now? Trying down with Gentiles. How is Africa right now? Because you, as the wealth of Israel, which is the crown of Africa, which is what? The mother of us all, everything suffered because you just like Adam. When Adam sinned, that sent out a ripple effect and destroyed everything in the creation under his order. Right? Animals went off, everything went off. Just to this day, certain sexual sins we commit causes the land to be defiled in sin. Right? So do not think that what you have going on don't affect not just you. Maddie said this one time before. It's like when you take a rock and throw it in a pond, it hits the pond and enters at one point. But the ripple effect goes out and affects everything around it all the way to the outer edge of the pool or the water. Ain't that amazing? One point of entry affects everything around it. Shalom, Joy Lam, Yah Property, Woman of the Past, Total Rabbi McFadden for your generous donations, brother. Definitely a brother who definitely loves to help his people, man. So may the Lord bless your hands, your goings and your comings, and I look for that job referral at the paper mill. Insider. Anyway.
Do this mic work?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why you keep going back to it.
No, because somebody said it sound bad.
Oh, it sound bad? All right, so let me come a little closer to you then.
Says the sound bad or
hey, y'all, can we get a sound check? Can we get a sound check? Just want to do a check. We don't have an external mic hooked up, but I didn't. Yeah, I did surrender down, man. Been on this fruit fast, man. Y'all kidding killed me, man. They trying to get me tossed around out here like I'm a little low. Scoot over this way a little bit. Yeah, come toward me a little bit.
No, it's better than that. We good, bro.
How you know? You saw it somewhere?
No, I could. It's closer now. We good. It sounds good. See, sounds good. Simply J. Come on, verse 7. Again, your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence.
Didn't Christ prophesy that too? He brought it right back full circle. When we went off this time, it happened. When we went off again, it happened. Right. But this time, he told you not even a stone gonna stand on top of each other. That's how much sin Israel done went off. Go ahead.
And it is desolate.
It is what?
Desolate. And overthrown by strangers.
So we see that Christ was not going off, right? He prophesied the same thing Isaiah prophesied, right? This is a prophecy given to Isaiah by the Most High. All right. So we got that. So now we're going to run into Isaiah chapter 5. Isaiah 58. So don't get mad at your brother. I'm just setting some foundations. We're going to turn right into it. And I ain't going to even try to keep y'all all night. I told y'all that last Shabbat I should keep y'all for 5 till y'all keep it. Go ahead, keep going, Yaki. Go ahead, Yaki. What? And every time I try to go long, it's, oh, he's going too long.
What virtue?
1 and 2. You know what this is? Traditional.
Okay.
Because this is what we're supposed to do. This is what we're called to do.
That's right. Isaiah 58, verse 1.
Oh!
Cry loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sin. Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness.
That's right. See, that's the key. Seek him daily, delight to know his ways. The interracial relationships you don't like to talk about, the monogamy and polygyny you don't like talking about, the Sabbath keeping you don't like talking about, the porks, the holidays you ain't supposed to keep, all these things that people don't want to talk about, we supposed to be talking about daily to know his ways. Because every way that you know that you learned in this land has destroyed you here. Anytime you add something foreign to yourself, it's called cancer, right? So when you own foreign thoughts, foreign ideologies, you invite foreign spirits, which is what? Cancerous. And what? Death to your spirit and your physical temple. Think about it. Go ahead.
Verse 2 again. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their God.
That's right.
They ask of me the ordinance of justice.
See, they ask. God's word is the what? Ordinance of justice.
Right. They take delight in approaching to God.
Just say, go ahead and read the next one, bro.
Wherefore have we fast, say they, and thou seest not.
See, you should be, look, the two greatest weapons it gave you was fasting and prayer, right? Something going wrong, enter into prayer, fast, seek the Most High, purify yourself, and then approach him unclean. I mean, approach him clean, right? When you fast, you're purifying, right? You're making your temple clean so that he can come in and deal with you and dwell with you and fellowship with you. Go ahead.
Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure and exact all your labors.
See what I'm saying? So, all right, so we got that out. So we know the word of God is pure. So if you get mad at this lesson, any other lesson that's a hot topic, then you mad at the word of God. Especially, I'm going to show you script. Wait. Script. All right. So now let's go to Romans. So we can understand people out here making up sins and, you know, trying to figure things out. Listen.
Making up sins,
bro. You can't play the lottery. It's sin. You step on the crack, you break your mama's back, you're sinning, son. Brother, if you fart in the bed, you're going to hell. You know what I'm saying?
Man-made doctrine. Huh?
Man-made doctrines. Doctrines of men, bro. Outer couple-lights. You know what I'm saying? Inside is rotten bones. You hear me? But notice when he was dealing with is that Ezekiel and he was telling the valley of the dry bones, did he start building the man outside in or inside out?
Inside
out. Start from the bones, right? This should be in your deepest inner parts.
Right. And then the flesh
it'll manifest. Yes, you got it. Yes, he got it. So we're gonna hit this Romans 5:13. Let me type that in the room. I don't think I typed in Isaiah 58. Let me type that. Isaiah 58. We did. I think we did 1 through 4.
You said Romans 5:13?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Your turn. Bingo. And then after that, we're going to hit the 1 John 3 and 4 to bag it up. All right, bro. Let's get it.
Romans chapter 5, verse 13.
Told everybody, Tubi. I appreciate that, bro. That's good looking, good help.
For unto the law, sin was in the world, but sin is not imputed when there is no law.
Sin is not what?
Imputed when there is no law.
Sin cannot be raised or charged or leveled to no man if you cannot go in the law and find it. One of the biggest questions during that polygyny class, which raised a lot of hers. Where in the law can I find the Most High against polygyny? I can show you in the law we made provisions for it. You can't show me where he didn't. Again, polygyny and monogamy are both lawful and ordained by God. Into that story. Into that story. We'll revisit it next year. It'll come back around. Pray we delivered out this deal, but it'll come back around. All right, go ahead.
Verse 14. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come.
Oh, the figure of who?
Well, figure of him that was to come.
And that's why they call Christ the what? Second Adam. The first Adam was earthy, flesh. The second Adam was spiritual, Christ. All right. So let's go hit this 1 John 3 and 4. So wherever there's no law, you can't impute sin. So if I can go in here and show you in the law about interracial relationships and interracial marriages, and it's a sin, and not only can I show you in the law, we're going to show you judgment. Because when God wants you to know something is a sin, he's going to let you know. He ain't going to get you, you ain't got to figure it out. Like I did with that homosexual piece. Hey, y'all, I went and had my mouth cleaned today, so outside of my gold shining real good. I had the rest of my little whitey parts cleaned up real good. So I'm just getting my lips back. Do not make no jokes. I will sit on every one of y'all. I'm just putting that out there.
Come on. All right.
So where we going? The 1 John 3 and 4. 1 John 3. So people won't be able to make up these laws on you, man. Well, you can't, if nobody can take you to the law to show you permission or the will of God for any situation, then there's no sin for it. You see what I'm saying? I can't sit here and say leaning on my brother is a sin. I can't be making sin up, right? That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. So what we're going to do today is go into the law, go into that, and then we'll go and see the precepts. We're going to go into the prophets, and we're going to see. And we're going to draw some parallelisms and some spiritualisms to get the understanding and realisms of the whole isms. The isms? All right, let's get it.
1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law.
Whosoever. So there's no escape clause for that, is it? Whosoever commits sin transgress the law. That's the rubric. Go ahead.
For sin is a transgression of the law.
Is that hard to understand? Sin is transgression of the law. Polygyny is not ordained by the Most High, but I discuss it. All right, let's go ahead. Give me Deuteronomy 17. You hit it, I'll tag it. Just be ready to receive it. Do me a favor, two of y'all, post these scriptures for me as I read them. Post Deuteronomy 17. We're going to start at verse 15, if I'm right. So we're going to see who they... No, you know what? I'm going to show you how people play with Deuteronomy. I'm going to show y'all something, y'all. And this ain't nothing against y'all's property, right? And also, y'all's property, according to the scripture, the Bible says what? Line must be upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. You can't one line this thing, because even if one witness, no man is charged with sin. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's the law.
That's the law.
So one witness of itself cannot lay sin to nobody, right? So he said, or she, is y'all property, male or female? Adam had one wife. Did you look at that wife in Genesis 2:24? Listen, y'all property. I'm gonna hit you up and hit me up a little later, but we're gonna tackle your quickness real quick, right? Because that word wife in Genesis 2:24 is plural. Ishet. If Malachi in the back watching, he could probably post it up there for you, right? One wife, right? The wife that it talks about in Genesis 2:24, right? I dare you to study that word wife out. It is plural. In Strong's, it calls it an irregular plural, often misrepresented in English. So it was always set out there that Adam could have more than one wife. But y'all don't want to hear that truth because you read in English and don't even understand it. But I'm going to show you how y'all run to this trickery in hallelujah. Run into this little trickery with Deuteronomy 17. Do me a favor. Start at 16. Hold on. 14. No. Check this out. Start at 17. I'm going to show you how this works. Start at 17. Y'all's property. You brought it out, so just listen. Right? Deuteronomy 17:17 is what you posted. You saying that Most High did not ordain polygyny. Let's get it. Deuteronomy
17, verse 17.
Uh-huh.
Neither shall he multiply wives to himself.
Right there. Yes, that's it. Let's keep reading.
That his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. So
he should only have one piece of silver. Yes, he only should have one piece of gold. Yes. Why you ain't running that, bro? So if you got anything more than one shekel in your pocket, brother, you going off. If I can only have one wife, then you can only have one piece of gold and one piece of silver. Now I'm going to show you the error of your ways. Because one, this ain't even talking about all of Israel. But let's go back up to 15 now. And let's see who this is really talking to. Because this ain't talking to the whole congregation of Israel, y'all property, right? So since you're saying in verse 17, I can only have one wife, I bet not catch you with one piece of silver. I bet not catch you with two pieces of silver. And I dang sure bet I catch you with two pieces of gold. So if you got more than one piece of jewelry, you can send it to our P.O. box. The box number's down there. We will take that donation because we know better, right? So since you can only have one wife and your premise was this verse 17, you better not have no more than one piece of silver and one piece of gold. Anything you have more than that, can you please send to Honor and Humility, and we will put it to good use for the edification of the body of believers. Yes, we will.
That's right.
All right? Anything over one piece of gold and one silver along with your one wife. Now let's go back to verse 15. Oh, you want to start at 14? Are you going to quench your spirit? Go ahead, start at 14.
We're going to start in verse 14, family.
Now, mind you, now I'm going to hold that part. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 14.
Verse 14.
When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shall possess
and shall do what?
Possess it,
okay.
and shall dwell therein, and shall say
what?
I will set a king.
I would say regular Israelites.
A king.
I would say maybe the priest.
A king.
I would say just the general population.
A king.
I would say a king
over me.
Over me.
Like as all the nations that are about me.
So what you're finna see, I think you're probably catching on. This is dealing with the scriptures that you just tried to bring out to condemn polygyny. Is only dealing with the king. Now, mind you, in this wilderness coming out of Egypt, did we have a king? No, we did not.
No, we didn't.
We didn't have a king, right? So this law was being prophetic to be dealt with Solomon, right? Because what happened with Solomon, we're going to touch on some of that anyway. To deal with Solomon, because Solomon did what? He multiplied himself too many wives, and they started doing what?
Going after their gods.
Going after their gods, right? And he was dealing with strange women,
right?
Women of other nations, which we shouldn't be dealing with. Those who had what? Worships of other gods. And this is why this law said it. Say it again. So go ahead and read that 14 again.
Verse 14 again. When thou art coming to the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Please, everybody, right now, y'all properly pay attention to verse 15, because you tried to run here, so we're going to deal with it. Verse 15. Verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set king over thee. Set a king over thee. Keep going. Whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren. So ain't no going around here voting around for somebody else. This ain't no democracy. It's a dictatorship. God said it. He sends the prophet. The prophet anoints the king. He's the king of Israel. Right? Even here it tells you, it says, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. God chose this man to be king over Israel. Whoever this man will be. That he appoints. Who he appoints. So it's not going against it. God promoted it because he chose the king to be over the children of Israel. That's right. And you right, set apart, Imam, you show right. Listen, they read that one, but that one is Ishet or Isha, it's plural. Go to Genesis 2 and 24 and look that up. People gonna be mad when this truth come out. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren. From among thy brethren. Ain't no other nation choosing. Right? Because why? Other nations come with other spirits. And so God is not going to set the spirit of another nation through the king over his people. This lines up with the class. Shall thou set king over thee? Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee. A stranger shall not be set over thee. Which is not thy brother. But he shall not multiply horses to himself. Stop. I bet not catch an Israelite with more than one horse. And if your car running on 200 horsepower, take 199 away. Better not have two cars at the crib. And you better not have two cars at the crib. No two cars, right? And see, y'all's property, you try to use English, you try to use English, mathematics. You're using all the slave masters' whims to make you look kind of crazy in this hour, right? And it's just real. And you're not listening. You bring it out, but you don't listen, right? Shalom Naquam. So in verse 15, it's talking about the king. So verse 14, 15, 16, 17 is dealing with the king of Israel, not the regular people of Israel.
So again, in 16, but he shall not multiply horses
to himself,
Uh-huh.
nor cause the people to return to Egypt.
See, that's a king. A king is the charge of the power, right? To move a people. He cannot return them back to Egypt, right?
To the end that he shall multiply horses.
There I go again.
For as much as the Lord hath said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way.
Read 17 now, because it's flowing right into the whole thing now.
Neither shall he multiply wives to himself.
So at this point, no multiple horses, no multiple wives, and keep going.
That his heart turn not away.
This is exactly what Solomon did. This is prophecy, y'all, because there's no king in Israel at this time, right? Keep going.
Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold.
So no more. If you saying that these scriptures are dealing with what? One wife, not multiple. No more than one horse, no more than one silver, no more than one piece of gold. Anything, and you got a car with horsepower. Every car got a horsepower in it, right? Reduce the horsepower in your car, motorcycle down to 1. It's just what it is. All right. So we diverted there for a minute. And again, Genesis 2:24. Go read that English word wife is what? Ishet or Isha, which is an irregular plural, which is often mistranslated in English. It tells you that. But then listen, more better yet, like Emma said, simply living, learn to go dab into that Hebrew so you can understand what you're reading, right? And everybody in Israel is not a bishop. Everybody in Israel is not a deacon. And everybody in Israel is not an ordained elder. And if you read and precept it with, as it dawned to the first day of the week, when you read it, I was at Matthew 28 and 1, right? So when you read that, that 1 could also means first, because you can't be the one who put away his first wife or done away with his first wife. If Christ, we his first wife, Christ never put us away. So shall the elders and leaders of the church never put they what? First wives away. Your understanding has been, his Christian Hebrewisms have to quit.
You would have a problem with David because David had multiple wives and he was a king.
And didn't God tell David that I would have gave you more wives? So is God a sinner?
Right.
And y'all property. Is God a sinner? Is the Most High a sinner?
Right. Blessed is the man who God does not impute iniquity on. So you tell
is the Most High a sinner?
That makes sense.
He ain't gonna answer that, is he? You got a lot of typing to do. He won't answer that. All right, let's go ahead and get back on steam. But you can hit us up. We'll definitely chop it up with you. All right, where we at? We read that Isaiah.
Yeah, we read Isaiah.
All right, and we read the Romans and the. All right, so we're going to Daniel 10. Daniel 10, 1 through 13. 10, 1 through 13. And we're going to get around about these rulers and spirits and stuff over nations. Because that's why you see the Most High just got through dealing with Moses giving this law to the king to do what? Not to deal with these other nations, right? No strange wives, right? No stranger that could be king over you. Why? What happened with John the Baptist? What happened with John the Baptist? Lost his head, didn't he?
Lost his head.
Lost his head, right?
Yeah,
to a king that wasn't even an Israelite. And Israel was in a disarray during the time, in that dispensation, that Roman dispensation, right? Because why? The Edomites were running over Israel. See how that happens? So we're going to hit Daniel chapter 10, 1 through 13. We're going to go through 1 through 13.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 1. In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel.
All right, so this is a vision that was revealed unto Daniel. So we understand we're dealing with Daniel in one of his visions. He was a visionalite. Really was.
Nerd.
All right, so let's get it.
Daniel, whose name was called Belteshazzar, and the thing was true, but the time appointed was long, and he understood the thing and had an understanding of the vision.
So what he saw, right, in this vision, even though it was long off, he understood what was being revealed to him, right? So let's get it.
In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks.
All right.
I ate no pleasant bread,
Uh-huh.
neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth.
Ooh.
Neither did I anoint myself at all, till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled.
So then he went through a sort of a purification or his own personal fast, where he removed meats, wines, bread, right? And he also removed he didn't anoint himself.
Right. Verse 4. And in the 4 and 20th day of the first month, as I was by the side of the great river, which is Hiddekel, then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loin was girded with the gold of Upas. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire.
Sound like some powerful creature, right? Sound like the Most High. I mean, like Christ in Revelations, ain't it?
Yep. And his arms.
And his what?
And his arms.
Watch this, y'all.
And his feet like in color to polished brass.
Boy, this was a man of color. Face like lightning, eyes like fire, feet polished brass, that bright brown. You see what I'm saying? No pale face.
No.
Keep going.
And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. And I, Daniel, alone saw the vision. For the men that were with me saw not the vision, but a great quaking fell upon them, so that they fled to hide themselves. So
Daniel was dealing with this vision of this man that he saw, this man of power, his body like beryl, you know what I'm saying? Strong, you know what I'm saying? Chiseled, right? Face and appearance like lightning, eyes like lamps of fire. You know what I'm saying? His arms and his feet colored. So these men of the Lord had color, like polished brass. Christ had burnt brass, right? Keep going.
Verse 8, therefore I was left alone and saw this great vision.
What kind of vision?
Great vision.
Let's pay attention.
And there remained no strength in me, for my comeliness was turned into corruption, and I retained no strength.
Man, turned that boy inside out.
Right, noodles. Yet heard I the voice of his words.
So this is that vision of that great man he saw. Now you can hear the words of this great man. Keep going.
And when I heard the voice of his words, then was I in a deep sleep on my face, and my face toward the ground. And behold, an hand touched me.
So this hand touched him,
which set me up upon my knees.
So set him up, still prostrated, but put him on his knees, right?
And upon the palms of my hands.
So he had him like this, on his hands and knees, bowed down, right? Keep going.
And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright. For unto thee am I now sent. And when he had spoke this word unto me, I stood trembling. Then said he unto me, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand.
So when he was having these visions, this 3 weeks ago and this time ago, he had his heart set to get understanding. He was given understanding, right? So this man, after he prostrated, and we got his great description, which is definitely an Elohim or a messenger, right? A power, right? He set him up on his hands and knees and then stood him straight up. He was still trembling in fear. You know what I'm saying? His own countenance was cast inside out. He looked at it as corruptible, right? Let's find out what's going on.
And to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words.
See that? So you know this power, this deity, this Elohim or this messenger had knew about his prayers reaching to God. They were heard, and now he has come for the words. All right, let's get it.
But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days.
So stop this. So listen what's going on. This is the spiritual symbolic you need to understand. That Persia you see right here. Now, mind you, this man with this great power that had this much fear inside of Daniel in this vision, right, just told you that he had to be dealing with another prince over another principality, which was in Persia.
over another nation.
Over another nation, because Persia has its own king. Can you Google the god of Persia? What is the god of Persia? You got it. I'm gonna do it quick because I don't know all these gods' names and all these different places, but I'm just gonna see what the god of Persia is. What is the god of deity of Persia? See a name. I'm gonna try. Okay, Google. Who is the deity over Persia? Ahura Mazda. That's the deity over Persia, right? Now I just did a quick Google. Now I have not did no deep research to see, right? But y'all can check it out. So I just want you to get what I'm saying. So you see right here that this power that came to Daniel had to stay and deal with him for 21 days while trying to get to and come and talk to Daniel about his visions, because his prayers was heard by Elohim, right? Keep going. But lo,
But I'm sort of
right.
verse 13 again. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days.
So Ahura Mazda withstood this prince or this power for 21 days. Keep going.
But lo, NehemiYAH, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia.
So you seeing right there that NehemiYAH, which is who? The angel or the guardian, the chief prince over Israel. That's who battles for our behalf, right? So Michael had to go and sense this Elohim, right, to fight against that Persian. Right. And it makes sense because it's not Daniel Israelite. Isn't this a matter of God that God got going on that he had to send? So again, we see, thanks to our brother leading us to go to that Deuteronomy 17, we actually see that's why you're not supposed to set a key. That was spirit-led, and y'all probably don't even know it. That we was actually went to that Deuteronomy 17 to see why we're not supposed to set a king that's a stranger among us, because those strangers come with different deities over them, right? And God not going to have you governed by another deity, right? That's why he said Christ over you as your king. But notice this calls NehemiYAH the chief prince, and the other powers under him are princesses, right? And so they had to both go bang against this Persian one, right? For 21 days. All right. So we got some overstanding. Let me get a 9 if you follow me so far. And then we're going to go into this Sirach. So we're going to go into Sirach 17 and 17. I pull up on the screen too. Well, no. Because these are a lot of these are like one hitters. So, you know, not a whole lot of time we have to spend in that.
Let me see that.
You see that? Yeah. We put up on my phone. You just read it off my phone?
No, I get it. No, I'm looking for something.
Oh, okay. Oh, you was on something else. Hallelujah. Todah. All praise to the Most High.
Sirach chapter 17, verse 17. For in the divisions of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people.
So look what Sirach, you know what? I'm probably going to go there so they can see this. I'm going to share a screen with y'all, because I want y'all to see this, that I'm not making this up, that there are actual deities over other nations. Oops, I hit mute mic. We're back. All right, so we're going to go share screen, Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 17. Let's get it. All right, so this is Sirach 17 and 17. Go to my screen and make sure y'all seeing it. on YouTube. All right, cool. All right, so they see it. All right, hallelujah. All right, so we got 50 likes. Do me a favor while you Uriel getting there. Oh, he already read it already. So I'm gonna read it again. So we got 51 likes. All right, we got 80 people in the room. So let's go ahead and get on up there to 80. You know what I'm saying? Definitely appreciate all y'all donations and y'all alms. Greatly appreciating this hour. It keeps us going for you all down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this again. Verse 17. In Sirach 17. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion, whom being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, does not forsake him. So when we understand that the Most High is only dealing with Israel, that's his portion. Yes. And he said Michael as a chief prince, and he said Christ as the king over Israel, right? And those disciples would be the what? Judges. You actually been given the government of Israel in the kingdom to come if you read the scriptures and understand. You know who the judge is going to be. You know who's going to be officiating. You know who the king going to be. You know who the princes are. And you know who the Elohim or the main God that still sits in heaven. Christ is on earth. God is in heaven. And the whole hierarchy thereof sits on earth in the New Jerusalem. And rule this whole deal. Right? So we got that. Let me back out. Go back here. So we did Sirach. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 6. 2nd Esdras, chapter 6. We're gonna read 55 through 59. All praises. Boy, look, walked us right into what we needed with that. That's why the Most High said, don't set no king that's a stranger over you. Why? It makes sense. Because every nation has their own power over it, its own deity. Makes more sense why you shouldn't be going and putting your covenant member, right? That he made a covenant with Noah and his seed. He made a covenant with Abraham and his seed, which is his sperm, right? Through his covenant member where he got an outer cup. So you're supposed to take your covenant seed, shoot it past your covenant member, and plant it into a strange temple. Come on, man. Y'all going off on major levels. And you're going to see the Bible call that a great sin when we get to that NehemiYAH. Because NehemiYAH trying to tell you right now. Yes. The spirit of NehemiYAH, yes.
Let me know when you're there.
All right.
You there?
I'm almost there. All right. Let me bring it out a little bit. All right. So again, we know that the Most High is only dealing with Israel, and the other nations have their own deities over them, as we just saw in the example. And we read with Michael and the other Elohim had to fight with the king and prince of Persia, right, to get to Daniel, right? So we have clear understanding. We read that in Daniel 10. Now we also saw in Deuteronomy 17. Thanks for somebody bringing us to a different, verse, but to bring out more clarity and debunk that was talking about all the Israel. It's just dealing with the king of Israel. Right. All right, so yeah, we there. We starting at verse 55.
2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 55. All this I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake.
And that sake is who? Israel. Keep going.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam,
which also have other deities over them, other powers over them, guess what?
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
They are loved by him.
Nothing.
They are everything to him.
Nothing.
They are nothing. Why is you putting your covenant members in nothing? Go ahead.
They are nothing, but be like unto spittle.
Spit.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, Behold, these heathen.
These who?
These heathen.
These friends.
These heathen.
These lovers.
These heathen.
These my wives.
These heathen.
These brothers I want to sleep with of other nations.
These heathen.
These kings of other nations that I want to set over Israel.
These heathen.
These heathens.
Which have ever been reputed as nothing.
As something.
As nothing.
As everything.
As nothing.
As nothing.
Have begun to be lords over us and to devour us.
That is the current Negro condition today. Keep going.
But we thy people.
But we thy people.
Whom thou hast called thy firstborn.
And who we talking about?
Thy firstborn.
And that's Israel. Uh-huh.
Firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover.
Now listen, we know that ain't physical, bro. God said he is our fervent lover. We supposed to be married to him. So if we're married to him and we're supposed to be dealing and moving amongst our own people, that's how that's supposed to work. Not being fervent lovers to other people who has other deities over them, bringing that fervent love to our God. Why are you bringing perversion and abomination to our Elohim? Going off. Keep going.
And thy fervent lover are given into their hands.
Uh-huh.
If the world now be made for our sake, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
Until we turn from our wickedness, is that answer. Or until he calls judgment, until his mercy has run dry. All right, so we're going to run back to Daniel. Daniel 12:1. I'll read that real quick as my brother's looking up a precept. Also, I need to add that to my notes, that Deuteronomy 17. That actually worked out real good.
You said Daniel 12:1?
Yeah.
Let me know when you get there.
Deuteronomy, we went to 17 and we read 14 through 17. And y'all, I usually always put the notes in the description or in the comment after class. So y'all definitely have a reference point. All right, so we're going to Daniel chapter 12:1. Let's get it.
Daniel chapter 12, verse 1.
Salakia, my bad. I'm still sharing screen, so I might as well go there. Huh? Daniel 12.
You there?
Yep.
Daniel chapter 12, verse 1.
So we get to see again and get some understanding, overstanding. Why is this not going out? Oh, there it goes.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince.
The great who?
Prince.
So now you know the hierarchy. God, Christ is king. The Most High NehemiYAH is Elohim. Christ, his begotten son, is king. Michael would be the what?
Prince.
Great prince.
Which standeth for the children of thy people.
See, and that's why Michael had to go help Daniel 2 chapters prior, right? By going to help that Elohim fight against the what? Elohim over Persia. So Sirach lets you know that every nation has something over it. Ezra lets you know that Israel is the only portion. That's who he's the God over. That's who he said Christ to be king over. That's who he said Michael to be great prince over. Go ahead.
It standeth for thy people.
Uh-huh.
And there shall be a time of trouble.
Oh, it shall be.
Such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time, that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. And
you go to Revelation, it's called the book of life.
That's right. If
you made the cut, you will be delivered. All right. So I just wanted, this just one line hitter. So we're going to go to Deuteronomy 7:1-6. Deuteronomy chapter 7. Well, I'm making the whole screen. Oh, there we go. All right. So let me go ahead while you doing that real quick.
No, but we good.
Are we all good? Hey, y'all, do me a favor. I'm online. Give me a 7 if y'all got some understanding, man, that so far you can see where I'm at, is that one of the main reasons that we cannot be laying with these other nations, and this is the spiritual content. We're going to go into the meat and the law and the judgments. This is the spiritual content. The class is interracial / mixed marriage of sin, right? So let's get it.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations.
So he sent you in, or he told us to go in there and clear it out, but it's under his orders. All right. Told everybody. Glad y'all got some understanding. Right?
Cast out many nations before thee. The Hittites, the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations, greater and mightier than thou.
Let's get it. Verse 2.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them.
Thou shalt do what?
Smite them.
So why are you trying to marry them? These nations, and even he told us, if he tells you in Proverbs 3 and 31, learn not the ways of the nations, and the thought of that is an abomination, why do you think if he tell you don't learn from them, somehow you get sleep with them? If you're not supposed to learn from these other nations, how do you get trying to sleep with the other nations? When he just told you, I'm going to deliver these 7 great nations to you, and I want you to smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. But you want to stick your covenant member in them. You want to set your holy place, women, your womb, your earth, your vagina, on top of his uncovenanted, uncircumcised rod. Ew. 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 All right, go ahead. Give me verse 3.
Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
That's right.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Did I make this up, or is that frighteningly clear? I go to this nation, I cast out these 7 great nations from among you, right? Don't make you supposed to be ruling or destroying or smiting. How do you become bad buddies? All right, let's keep going.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
That's right.
For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods.
This is what you saw in Deuteronomy 17. 10 chapters going forward, right? This is dealing with the people of Israel, and that's dealing with the king of Israel in Deuteronomy 17, right? But again, this is what happens. And don't think I'm lying. Listen. If you, and let's just be real with each other. If a so-called Israelite man chooses to go take on him a daughter, right, of another nation, listen, man, we know even when you're dealing with an Israelite daughter and an Israelite man together, you're going to be some compromise. No, some of y'all got baby mamas with Israelites that still don't know they're in the truth, and you banging with them over whether the baby's going to be at your house for dedication or dealing with Christmas. Or they'll be dealing with Thanksgiving, or they're going to be over there with you away from Thanksgiving. Or they're going to be dealing with New Year's in January or New Year's doing Passover. You see what I'm saying? You're fighting with that with a woman that don't even know she's in the truth, let alone that comes with a woman that's from Persia whose God is Aurora Mazda, based off the car. So you'll take a woman of Persia and you think she ain't gonna want to worship her God? Well, it's okay. I let her do her and I do me. And then y'all kids are born spiritually torn down. You hear me? Go ahead, read it.
Verse 4 again. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee.
And make love to you.
Destroy thee.
And be buddy with you.
And destroy
He's
thee.
going to destroy you for that.
Suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire.
How did you get in bed with these people? You're supposed to be turning all that down. Keep going.
But thou art an holy people.
Thou art integrated people.
And holy people.
A set apart people.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Uh-huh.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people.
There we go again.
Unto himself.
Wow.
Above all people.
Equal with all.
Above all people.
Parallel to.
Above all people.
Adjacent.
Above all people.
Above all people.
That are upon the face of the earth.
This ain't racism. This is realism. This ain't racism. This is realism. You are greater than them. You were meant to be the rulers of this world. We just read in 2nd Esdras that this world was given to you for your sake. And he asked him how long we got to endure it in. Until either we all come to repentance or do what? Judgment. All right, hallelujah. Man. Hallelujah. So where we at? Ding. Next, we're going to go to what? We'll go to the law. So we'll go further into the law and see what it says. We go to Leviticus 19, right? See what Leviticus 19 reveals to us. Leviticus 19 and 19. And peep this, y'all. Now, the Most High, I'm going to show you. See, the Most High is not the author of confusion. If he don't allow you to interracial marriage, guess what else he don't allow? He don't allow mixing. He's not that type of guy, y'all. I just want you to see, you can kind of get a characteristic understanding about Elohim. When you read these type of scriptures, right? Then it starts making a lot more sense, right? So you looking for something else?
No, bro.
Okay, I'll read it real quick while you're looking that up.
No, Leviticus chapter 19, verse, you said 19? Yep,
19 and 19. Remember, the Most High words are what? Spiritual, pure, life. Those who trust in him have a shield. And you're not supposed to be putting your covenant, nor making covenants, which is your sexual bond is a covenant, with other nations. Let's read.
Verse 19. Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind.
Listen, even his animals, he don't want them doing it. Man, I need to see this. Can I get a 9 if anybody's starting to see the pattern of our Elohim? Don't intermix with those other nations because they'll turn you away. Even don't integrate, don't mingle your cattle with other diverse kinds. Can I get a 9 if anybody else seeing this? Or am I making this up? Especially because other nations have what? Other gods over them. And guess what? That's why the Bible says no bestiality. Why? Because you're not supposed to be laying with animals. They are of another kind. The Most High do not deal with mixing, y'all. I know that may be hard for some of y'all that like the snow bunnies, but it's going off, and the Lord said he will destroy you utterly and suddenly. And that's a judgment. Ain't that a judgment? If you have mixed that, then there's a judgment. All right? All right. So he's not a mixer. All right? He's not Sir Mix-a-Like.
Right. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed.
See that? Even when you planting things in the ground, y'all. Even when you're planting seed in the ground, the seed can't be mingled. He don't want you to mingle. He don't want your cattle to mingle with diverse kind. He don't even want you to sow seed in the ground that's mingled. Let's read.
Neither shall a garment mingle of linen and woolen come upon thee.
See that? See that? No mingling, y'all. I get in the class right here, right? Makes sense? Should make sense. All right? But we're going to keep on bringing it home till we make sure Israel got it. That's our job. We love it. So we're going to go ahead and keep going. Now, give me Deuteronomy 2 and, I'm going to go up here on the screen.
I said Deuteronomy 2 and what?
22, I'm sorry. 22 and 9.
Deuteronomy 22 and 9.
Mm-hmm. Is mixing, hold on, let's go ahead and take a survey. Survey says, all right, Israel, We got 78 people. So far, have you found out, is interracial mixing seed or mixed marriages lawful or unlawful? What's your answer? Lawful or unlawful? And we send it spiritually, animals. We send it in clothing. We send it in gardening, right? And we send it in the law and spiritually. Yeah, they mix alike. Man. I know I got a little delay, so I guess I can be pulling up the scripture. They come to answers now. All right, so it's Deuteronomy 22 and 9. Unlawful. All right, let's keep checking the record. We're going to keep checking the record. All right.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds.
Thou shalt not do what?
Sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds.
The Most High does not deal with mixing. Shall not sow in thy vineyards with diverse seeds, lest what?
Lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled.
Mixing seeds defile you. Can you see that spiritually? Can anybody else can you see that spiritually? Yes or no? If you mix your seed, right? If you plant your seed, into somebody's ground, it's going to yield fruit that is defiled. I can't make this up. I hope someone is seeing it. I really do. All right. So far we see that it's unlawful. From the mixing of our animals, the mixing of our clothes, the mixing of our fields, the mixing of our gods, the mixing of our kings over us, and what else? Did I miss anything?
Clothes.
Mixing, of our clothes, and mixing of our women with our men and sons and daughters. But let's keep going, because listen, I'm gonna put myself out there because I know where they're gonna go, right? So we're gonna go to Exodus. My fault. We're gonna go to Deuteronomy 22 down to 10, right? That right there? I don't think I wrote that scripture down right.
Deuteronomy.
The war clause?
Yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 22. Also in verse 10. 21. Deuteronomy 21.
Start at verse 21?
No, Deuteronomy chapter 21. Verse
chapter 21. All right, I knew I was going off. All right, so we go back one chapter. All right, so we go to 20. Uh-oh. 21 and starting at verse 10. All right. Now look, y'all. I'm finna. Uh-oh. Bro. There I go. Stop. That's right. Stop. This thing.
in there.
That's my brother. No matter if he ain't gonna get no bigger.
I probably ain't get no bigger.
That's my brother.
Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 10.
Now look, y'all. What I'm doing, right? I'm playing the devil advocate to my own class, right? So you ain't got to worry about where they'll go. I'll take you there and we're gonna look at it. Because people all right, click on it and then shrink it. It's not, bro. Uh-oh. I did this. Okay. You know what? Can you do that for me? This is a go off a light machine today.
We get it.
All right. So right here, what we doing, basically, we going, because listen, this is where an Israelite who's looking for a loophole try to go. This is where Hebrew loophole gonna go to try to find a reason to take on him, an heathen.
Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
When thou goest forth to war.
Stop. Go ahead, read. I should let you complete that.
When
thought.
thou goest forth to war against thine enemy.
So this is a war clause. Can somebody type that? No, I'm going on my own page. We'll go on this page. Mind you, y'all, this is the Hebrew war clause. This is where somebody's going to go to try to justify, right? They're going to try to justify land with a heathen, right? Now go ahead.
When thou goest forth to war against thy enemy, and the Lord thy God had delivered them into thy hand, and thou hast taken them captive. Name
me one African, so-called African American man, right, in America or in the diaspora, that the Lord had gave him power to win over his enemies, and he took them captive. Name me one so-called Negro. Name me one so-called Israelite family that traveled via the transatlantic slave trade that won a war by their Elohim, right, and took their enemies captive. I'll wait. I guess I can pour me some water. Want some water? Yeah, sure.
Verse 11. And seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity.
Of her what?
Captivity.
Her freedom, because she's in America.
Her captivity.
This woman has to be, one, God had to deliver them in war. The so-called Negro or so-called ancestors or the children thereof, which are us, have ever waged war against the enemy and took them captive. Then take them captive, take them home. Ain't none of you so-called Negroes ain't shaved none of these women's head. Only thing you did was brought her some wine and some weed, maybe popped a molly, snorted a line, and then you took her to the hotel. And matter of fact, the next morning you brought her some nails. Not pare her nails. Go ahead and read that 21 and 12 again.
Verse 12. Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house.
Right.
And she shall shave her head.
Not the hotel.
And pare her nails.
Not take it to the hotel or your mama's house or your brothers and sister's house. Take it to your house because she's your possession now. Right?
Right.
I bet you ain't none of y'all ever seen the so-called Negro shave off one of these heathens' heads and cut their nails off and then put on the raiments of their captivity on her. I bet you they did. Total Rabbi Nogan. I guarantee it. And told out Abraham for your arms, man. May the Most High bless your hands. All right? So is interracial marriage, mixed marriage is a sin. You can't mix cattle. You can't mix seed in the ground. You can't mix clothes. You can't mix with other nations. You ain't supposed to learn of other nations. Each of those nations got other spirits and deities and powers over them. And why would God want you to bring his love? Because listen, what you don't realize is Satan been trying to put his seed inside of Israel ever since so he can make his trip into the eternal life. Through y'all. You don't even know you working for the devil full steam. Yeah, I told you that. I'm going to say it again. He has been trying to place himself. We're dealing with spirit. Spirit is manifested in what? Flesh. The spirit over Edom or Edomites is Samael, right? It's a chief demon. You see it in the movie Hellboy, the first one, right? That's the demon that Hellboy first fought against in that museum. Called him the destroyer, the defiler. See what I'm saying? Go back and watch that old Hellboy, right? When you see that you fighting this on a spiritual level, you sitting here and you're sitting here putting your righteous seed, covenant seed into unholy women, right? Or you taking your vagina and ride unholy rods, right? And sitting here making covenants with nations that have different spirits over and bringing those spirits into your covenant by bearing children. Ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wee. Read verse 13.
Verse 13. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother.
So you give her mourn
a full month.
So you done killed her people off, right?
Right.
You done separate her from her people.
Right.
You done cut off her hair, which is her glory, pared her nails, right? And you had the clothing of captivity on her. Ain't none of you Negroes won a war, took none of these women, shaved none of their heads, cut none of their nails off, and ain't none of y'all waited no month to get no quabah. Stop lying to yourselves. This is not the free pass to have sex with other nations. Yeah. And it's never about color. Other nations are other nations. All of them are goyim or heathen. Even the black nations are. Because what's the definition of Ham? Born 96 years before the flood, one of the sons, or one of the 8 souls that survived the flood, right? Progenitor of the dark races, but not the who? Negro. Okay. They the spoils of war, exactly. And ain't none of these brothers been to war. Name me the war that the so-called Negro in America won. And took cap. That means right now, Esau or the white man should be in your captivity right now. The role should be reversed. You should be corporate America.
Negro
the Negro ain't even corporate over his own block in his community. He ain't even block captain.
Ain't even won a battle in his mind yet.
He ain't even won the battle with self yet. That's a great way you put it. I like how you put that. I lamb backed off your thought real quick. Hallelujah.
All praises.
All praises. So let's go ahead and read that. We at 14.
Verse 14. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whether she will. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her.
So you could drop her off like a habit. Drop her off. Right? Drop her on off. Now don't sell her. Right? At least give her a little respect. Don't sell her for money, because you did humble her. Right? But hell, it's a slave. Bye. Yeah, all right. I'm really not that type of cruel brother. NehemiYAH, no, don't do that to the daughters. All right, so listen. The next place they're going to try to go, right? I'm going to take you to it. They're going to go to Exodus chapter 21. So we're going to go there for you. So if they ever try to run a Deuteronomy 21 on y'all to justify their Gentile loving, ask them what war they won. When did you take that heathen home? Show me those men that you have in captivity, right? The men of her nation. Then also we need you to show where you shaved that head, cut them nails off, gave her the clothes of her captivity, and then let her mourn for 30 days. Come on, man. You know a Negro ain't did that, bro. You know that. Let's not be simple in this hour. You need to be focusing on you and your God. That should be the mindset of every Israelite in here. Focus on you and your God. You too busy trying to add the white man and the heathens and the other nations to your covenant. You trying to help Satan and one of his other princesses enter into Israel through sex so he can spiritually obtain the kingdom. You're trying to give Satan a free pass to your eternal life. Well, guess what? You ain't going to do it, because we're going to see some of these judgments. Listen, if it would have been found that any of you would have had sex with one of these heathens, boy, you would have been taken up out of here, ate to the sap. You would have never had a chance for that seed to take root and those children to be born. That's how serious this law is. So we found the law, we see judgments, right? And we see precepts. So let's go ahead and deal with Exodus 21, because this is where they're going to try to tell you too that you can take on a strange wife or a Hebrew servant. But we're going to see what it is. Key word is Hebrew. So let's go ahead and read that. Exodus 21, start at verse 1.
Exodus chapter 21, verse 1.
Let's get it.
Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them.
So clearly right now we start right out the gate. These are judgments, right? Remember, there should be a law and a judgment. Right? Because where there is no law, sin is not imputed.
That's right.
Because sin is transgression of the what?
Law.
Come on, man. We can't make this up.
Verse 2. If thou buy an Hebrew servant.
Not a Gentile servant, but a what?
Hebrew servant.
That's right.
6 years he shall serve.
Uh-huh.
And in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing.
So that's the sabbatical. Just like you till your land and grow your land for 6 years, it rests on the 7th year. Same way, if you buy a Hebrew servant, this is a man, it's not a woman, this is a man. Then 6 years he shall serve, and in his 7th year you should let him go free for nothing, because his debt is what?
Free.
Paid.
Okay.
All right.
If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself.
See?
If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him.
That makes sense, don't it? So in that, well, he ain't rich enough. Well, clearly this man wasn't rich enough because he had to sell himself into servitude, right, to make money.
Right.
So check ain't big enough, is off the table again. Now, again, you should be a man of the Lord, and your mind, your spirit should be set to take care of your family. I think like that.
Right.
I had a Hebrew told me today, he don't think I'm Judah no more.
What?
He said, because you got about 15 jobs. You know, all the different jobs I got. And I just got hired with MoDOT. So I started there December the 2nd. You know what I'm talking about? He said, boy, you got another job?
That's why you ain't Judah no more?
It's why he said, boy, you a Benjamite. He said, you hey man. He said, boy, you got about 15 jobs. He said, boy, I think you a Benjamite on the low. Go ahead, let's get it. We're Exodus 21:3. So we understand that if he had to put himself into servitude, you purchased it with money. You give him the 7-year free. And if he came by himself, he leave by himself. If he came in with his wife, you let him and his wife go, bro. Because remember, this is Israel we dealing with. Let's go to verse 4.
Verse 4. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself.
So what you just saw, right, is that he brought the Hebrew man by himself, right? And the master of the house gave him a woman, right? And in that woman, he produces still a Hebrew man and dealing with Hebrews, and gave him a woman. In that woman, they produced children. But guess what? That woman was the master's possession.
Right.
So the children who were born thereof, while the man was in the master's possession, all that possession belongs to the master. Right. So the man can go, but the children and the woman must stay. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense? Because at the time that you got her pregnant, right, you was his possession. The woman was his possession. So the birth thereof is what? His possession. How can you see it? Tell me how you see that spiritually in this topic. You see it right there. Look at it real good. Bring it out. All right, so look at this spiritually, y'all. Put on your spiritual glasses, right? So if the master, who is our master?
Right.
Christ is our master, right? And he gave us a Hebrew wife, right? Shouldn't our wives and our children belong to who?
The master.
To the master. You see it? Now, if the master if you think that another master can come in, or another king or another male can come in and sleep in the master's women, you think the master gonna let that? Let me make it look quicker. I know what my head was thinking about. I didn't say it right. Would you think the master of the house, who is Christ, will let another deity come into his women, to lay in his women, to produce seed of that deity in his women, and he got to keep it? Makes no sense. Can you see it? We'll find out how this thing is resolved toward the back end. Let's read verse 5.
Verse 5. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free.
That's how we should be, Israel. We love Christ. We're supposed to love our women and love our children. And listen, I'll stay here, Lord. I'll serve you just so I can be with my family. That's how this family thing supposed to work. I will stay under you, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was your servant, choose ye this day whom you will what?
Serve.
And it should be a Hebrew, right? This is very spiritual.
Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the door post, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and shall serve him forever.
So I'm saying it's just his mark.
Right. So it made you think about it, going back to what you were saying, just like it said, he shall bring him to the judges. It says, and he shall also bring him to the door.
Because he has to be public knowledge. You have to let everybody know what's going on.
Right. It said, or unto the door post, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and shall serve him forever. So like you think about like Passover or whatnot. They took the blood and put over the doorpost.
So it's a sign.
It's a sign. So they made a covenant with the Most High forever. So just like with Christ, he our
master. Your covenant. And listen,
master.
What the Bible say in Proverbs 28, he will even turn his ear from even hearing the law, even your prayers abomination. So it makes sense. Everything you look, the law should not depart out off your lips. It should never go away from what you're trying to be in. Because listen, everything that enters into you come through one of your orifices. You see what I'm talking about? This is very spiritual, right? So you shall serve him forever. Ain't that how it should be with Christ? Go ahead.
Verse 7, and if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she please not her master, whom have betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To sell her into a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he have dealt deceitfully with her.
See, and this is where they'll try to go to marry off into other nations. But you can see this clearly don't fit that paradigm. If she not please her master, right, who has betrothed her, right, then he shall let her be redeemed. Like, okay, I still love, I'm gonna try to redeem her. But if not, because that's a colon, to sell her into a strange nation. Listen, if you won't serve me with joyfulness and gladness in your heart, then I'm gonna send a nation upon you, and you shall serve them. He told Abraham that in Genesis 15. Know for sure that your seed gonna be carried off, and being a strange land should be afflicted for 400 years. That's how it always happened with us, because we won't serve our master right. See what I'm saying?
Verse 9. And if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters.
So just like the Most High gave us over to his who?
Son.
So he treat Israel as his what? His daughter. Because we're married to Christ. We are his sons and daughters. Israel is the feminine. I hope people can follow me what I'm saying. Israel, Zion, Jerusalem. You have to look up these words in Hebrew. They are all feminine because the Most High is masculine. See what I'm saying? So you have to understand the Hebrew language to get that. All right? But go ahead.
Verse 11. And if he do not these...
verse 10. So we're done with 10?
Verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
I heard somebody try to say, see, if you don't get to my house, it's pimping. That ain't right there. Even if you look at that spiritual, don't the Most High provide for his? You know what I'm saying? How many tribes in Israel? 12. It's otherwise. Remember, he's married to 2, right? Remember we did that Ezekiel? He's married to Israel and Judah, right? Israel, the one who went off and became as the Gentiles. You said everything play out spirit. I told you marriage points to this whole scriptural understanding of everything. That's the daughter that went off. He still wanted to redeem her. That's why he sent Christ, her husband. He sent the husband from heaven down there because he was betrothed to his son, Christ, to come and do what? Gather his wife. Or what you heard is the lost sheep of the tribe of Israel, which is his wife. Christ didn't come there and do no dumb. He came to get his wife back in order, to make them one branch under him again. Because what Solomon did, according to Deuteronomy 17, he let them strange women come in, bring their idols to the temple, and that was so grievous to God that ripped Israel in half. And that lasted for hundreds of years. That's how heavy that crime was. See what I'm saying? All right, where we at? So now let's go into the book of Jubilees, right? Because the Most High is not a mixer. Let's see if he really wants us to separate. Is God a separatist? Is the Most High Yod-A-Y-A separatist? So we'll go to Jubilees. We'll go to 22 and 16.
You said Jubilee, what chapter?
22. And I got it on the screen too if you need to read it from her. You hear me? Need to read it from her. I got it right here.
I get it right, bro.
Oh, all praise. Hey, look, this Hebrew do not play with them pseudos, boy. He is a pseudo-light flipper-light.
Jubilees chapter 22, verse 16.
Let's get it.
And you also, my son Jacob, remember my words.
So this is who? Abraham talking to Jacob. Who is Jacob? The progenitor, the father of who?
Israel.
All right, let's get it.
And keep the commandments of Abraham your father. Separate yourselves from the Gentiles.
Ooh, can you make this up? Separate yourself, not join with them, not sleep with them, not fellowship. That's why the Bible tells you, can you sit at the table of the Lord and the table of devils? Who the Gentiles sacrifice to? They sacrifice to who? Devils, because they have devils over them. They have other spiritual deities over them. So not only physically in the law, spiritually in the law, you are not supposed to mix with these other nations, especially on sex. Keep going.
Do not eat with them.
Do not what?
Eat with them.
But you want to bring them to the house and make love to them. You want to love a light, a Gentile. This is the wisdom that Abraham, probably Isaac, gave into his son on his departure, right? Because Israel, when they was heading toward the end, they knew their life was about to go and their life was dimming. You see what I'm saying? He told them, listen, and Jacob is the father of Israel. And so he must have got this from his grandfather Abraham. Separate thyself. Not sleep with them. Go ahead.
And do not perform deeds like theirs.
So do not mimic, and that goes back to that Proverbs 3. Learn not the ways of the other nations. Don't do as they do. Go ahead.
And do not become associates of theirs.
So if he tells you not to become associates, how are they becoming wives and husbands? How? Go ahead.
Because their deeds are defiled.
So wherever Gentiles sacrificing to, they sacrifice to devils. They are unclean. Their deity, their powers are unclean. Keep going.
And all of their ways are contaminated.
Pollution.
Contaminated. And this, they said it. This
despicable or despise or whatever.
Right, despicable. Yeah, that's despicable. Despicable.
I say abomination. I know it's the same word.
And abominable. They slaughtered their sacrifices to the dead.
We stop right there. Let's go into verse 17. Now keep going. Go ahead.
And to the demons, they bow down.
See that? Hallelujah for me. I need to add that verse. Keep going out. Hallelujah. Excellent. I should have read.
And they eat in tombs, and all their deeds are worthless and vain.
Vanity upon vanities.
And they have no heart to perceive.
Understand. They have no heart to understand.
And they have no eyes to see what their deeds are.
Because they tell you, I don't think what I'm doing is wrong. The man is righteous in his own eyes. They think they don't do nothing wrong. Go ahead.
And where they wander astray, saying to the tree, you are my God. And to the stone, you are my Lord. And you are my Savior.
And you see that all in the Catholic Church. It is saying worship gods of what? Wood and stone.
And they have no heart. But as for you, my son Jacob, may God Most High help you. And the God of heaven bless you. And may he turn you from their defilement.
So he wants you to be removed from their uncleanness. Not go hopping on their uncleanness or putting your covenant member in their uncleanness. And he wants you to be separated and removed from all of their error. Because what happens when you come with these other nations, these strange people, whether women or men, you're going to compromise in some shape, form, or fashion to what they got going on. And I ain't never seen one who ain't. That's all I'm saying. So we good right there. So we go. Oh, you want to keep going? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Be careful, my son Jacob, that you do not take a wife from any of the seed of the daughters of Canaan.
So Canaan is the whole landmass of Africa at that time, right? So he just told you. Now, mind you, I'm not on no black and white thing. I'm on a no mixing with heathens, goyim, or other nations thing. It's not a black and white thing, right? Because the land of Canaan was full of dark people, but they're not of Israel. And you got the testimony of the Shechemites, right? With them going into Dinah, right? And they killed off all of them for sleeping with their sister and defiling their sister. Why did that happen? Because they defiled the sister. And that was counted as righteousness to them.
Finish verse 20. He said, because all of his seeds is
to be rooted out of the earth,
destined for uprooting from the earth.
So why are you putting your covenant member in a people who are planned or set to be uprooted? See, I told you that's how the enemy do. If the enemy can put his seed in, you don't even understand how righteous and how cold you are. From the man, you possess the covenant of God in your loins. For the woman, you are the birthplace of the nation of that covenant. Why are we trying to get that defiled? You get mad at the Aaron nation. I said, let them have them. All of it, let them people do them. Because you should be on the same thing they own. You should be sticking to your own.
And stick to your people.
Stick to your people and grow your people. And I'm telling you, if you had that polygyny part, which is ordained, and you know how fast we reproduce, brother, you can take over this thing in less than 4 generations. Me being the great-grandfather. Me and my children. I'm already at 12, at 16 grandchildren. Imagine when those 16 grandchildren have children. Brother, I would need a mini mall to live in. You see the wealth in that? And then let them all be under the banner of the Most High? Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Now we're going to some more deeper laws dealing with Jubilee. We're going into Jubilees chapter 30. Hey, once you read this Jubilees chapter 30, there ain't no more way around it, bro. Anything after that, you want to be off. Anything after this, you want to be off.
What we able?
Jubilees chapter 30, we're going to read 7 through 17. All right, y'all. This is not going to fit all on one screen. I'm going to have to blow it up. I have to try to drag over with it so they can see it. All right, so I'm going to try my best to keep it in line. All right.
Jubilees chapter 30, verse 7.
Two of y'all, I hope you're doing me a favor. I can't see. I pray, that you type in these verses in there. But if not, I will be going back and putting all these chapter and verses and precepts in the comment section of the videos. So don't fret. So we're at Jubilees chapter 30. This is the law, right? Dealing with mixed marriages and interracial relationships. Go ahead.
It says, and if there is any man in Israel who wishes to give his daughter or his sister to any man who is from the seed of the Gentiles.
Stop. Not only does that man have the right, because see, a woman always supposed to have a covering over her. That's what you see in that Numbers 30 and all the other places, right? So not only is that man, that's why I say if your father ain't alive or whatever, go to one of the elder males in your family. You see what I'm saying? So you could be able to have that man sniff him out. Because it's telling you can't even, not just don't give your sister over. All right, keep going.
Let him surely die.
Let him who?
Surely die.
So not the judgment just on the woman. The judgment is on the man who tried to give the woman over to a Gentile. So that now you have a law and you have a clear judgment. We already read in the Torah about it. Don't give marriage to me. She utterly destroyed and how fast? Suddenly.
Right. It says, let him surely die.
Surely die.
And let him be stoned because he has caused shame in Israel.
Ooh-wee.
And also the woman will be burned with the fire because she has defiled the name of her father's house, as so she will be uprooted from Israel.
So not only is the woman killed, but the man who was trying to give her away is killed. Right. So you listen, you keep playing with this mixed marriages and giving y'all women and daughters and children. My children ain't never brought a Gentile home. I ain't never brought a Gentile home. Won't happen. And if you're dealing with a Gentile, you better pray this father don't find out about it. Boy, look, you'll be uprooted. You'll be disowned. Change your last name. You're done. Go ahead.
And do not let an adulteress, or defilement be found in Israel all the days of the generations of the earth.
So when do this law end? It don't. It's throughout all the days of the generations of the whole earth.
Because Israel is holy,
set apart
to the Lord.
We read that in Sirach 17 and 17. Keep going.
And let any man who causes defilement surely die.
So any man who causes this type of defilement, mixing marriages and dealing with adultery, because ain't that the sin for adultery? He do what? How should he be killed?
Let him be stoned, because thus it is decreed and written in the heavenly tablets.
In which tablets?
The heavenly tablets. Man,
you don't worry about it if you can't find it in the book. It's written in heavenly tablets regarding all the seed of Israel. Keep going.
That anyone who causes defilement surely die.
Woo.
And let him be stoned.
So, boy, that comes from the high ups. The high ups, right? We're going down to verse 17. We're going to keep going. Yeah.
And there is no limit of days for this law.
Stop. Bam. Class over. Time to go. Be right back out. You can read. I'm done. I ain't got to do nothing else. Class over with for me. That's it for me. I ain't got to talk about this no more.
Y'all probably said, ouch.
That was it, bro. This law has no limit of days. You ain't never heard a law play like that. Let me know whatever law you heard worded like that. Worded like that. Through all the generations of the earth, this law that's written in heavenly tablets have no limit of days. You should be seeing some ooh-wees in that text right now. You should be seeing some faces looking like this. What's the next group of words after no limit of days?
There is no remission.
Stop! There ain't no turtle doves you can sacrifice. There ain't no going to the priest. Ain't no holy of holies you can walk into. There ain't no fatted calf. There's no sacrifice that you can offer to remove that type of stain. And you're bringing children. Listen, you'd have never had children. Why? You'd have been stoned and burned. Keep going.
And there is no remission or forgiveness except that the man who caused the defilement of his daughter will be rooted out from the midst of all Israel, because he has given some of his seed to Moloch,
who is over most of those Gentile nations at the time. So what you still are seeing is that the reason why he's not actually having sex with Moloch, you done gave your sperm my covenant. Could you say I kind of be pissed? You took my covenant and put my covenant in a Gentile woman? Or you let a Gentile man come into my daughter and defile my daughter? Man, you finna get rooted, brother. Your name, and you know when the Most High make you a reproach? It's a wrap. When the Most High do, listen, now, and on this screen here, it reads, there is no limit of days, no remission, nor any atonement. So you don't even get the Day of Atonement on this one. The Day of Atonement can't save you out of this one. Especially, I ain't trying to be in none of y'all personal business. If y'all ever slept with a heathen or a Gentile, boy, you should be in repent mode, even though we know, put like this, You need not to be adding no more sin to yourself.
Right.
If you ever slept and fathered and did all that with another nation, boy, you better be in serious walk right mode from here on out. Because this is saying that you ain't getting off your jacket. There's no limit of days. It's on heavenly tablets. There's no remission. It ain't no, what they say, nor any atonement for it. Only one way to do it is kill the man that gave you over.
Sheesh.
Blood got to be shed out. And remember, kill the man and burn the daughter. Ooh. Ooh. Y'all keep, hey, listen, I let y'all get y'all snow bunnies. Your heathen wives.
Snow money.
Snow bunnies, snow monies. As for me and mine, Israel only is all I'm on. And I can proudly say it. I haven't done it. I'll take a drink of water for 10. Next.
Moloch and sin, so it defiled it. And you, Moses, command the children of Israel and exhort them not to give any of their daughters to the Gentiles.
We just read that. Keep going.
And not to take for their sons any of the daughters of the Gentiles.
We just read that.
Because that is contemptible before the Lord.
Abominable. So now you know that is an abomination. Why are we out here sleeping with the enemy? Who what? We learned destiny is to be uprooted. Why you letting them put their seed in you to live forever?
Therefore, I have written for you in the words of the law.
I just talked about this. Go ahead and read it.
All of the deeds of
the Shechemites. These were the ones who slept with Dana. Or Dinah, however you want to pronounce it. Dinah.
Which they did against Dinah. And how the sons of Jacob spoke, saying, we will not give our daughter to a man who is uncircumcised.
That's nothing. You let this man ain't even circumcised, so he don't even carry the covenant of God in his loins. His seed definitely ain't of the covenant of God. So this man then took his uncovenant member, poured that nasty skin back, dropped his seed with no covenant in a righteous foundation. It's off, brother.
Uncircumcised, because that is a reproach unto us.
Ooh-wee.
And it is a reproach to Israel.
To even Israel.
To those who give.
Who live.
Who give, and those who take any of the daughters of the Gentile nations, because it is a defilement and is contemptible to Israel.
So it's unclean and abominable to Israel. And
Israel will not be cleansed from this defilement if there is in it a woman from the daughters of Gentiles.
Ooh, somebody about to be mad, baby. And Israel will not be free from this uncleanness if he has a wife of a Gentile. Keep going.
Or one who has given any of his daughters to a man who is from any of the Gentiles.
Some of the Gentiles.
Any of the Gentiles.
The Gentiles that you particularly like.
Any of the Gentiles.
Boy, it ain't no love, no forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Of none of that. You see what I'm saying? Dealing with that.
But there will be plague upon plague.
Ooh, and we living in that?
And curse upon curse.
And we living in that?
And every judgment and plague and curse will come.
Upon who? Him. Keep going.
And if he does this thing, or if he blinds his eye from those who cause defilement and from those who defile the sanctuary of the Lord.
Stop. So you can't even give a turning blind eye to this.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why you're reading that Romans 26. Like, you know, it talks about the homosexual and all that stuff. Even those who are cool with it should die to death. You can't be cool. You should not be cool with this mixed marriage thing. because you always defiled. Read that 15 again for me.
Verse 15 again. For there will be plague upon plague,
Mhm.
and curse upon curse,
Mhm.
and every judgment and plague and curse will come. And if he does this thing, or if he blinds his eye from those who cause defilement, and from those who defile the sanctuary of the Lord, and from those who profane
So you see how bad
his
this
holy
is?
name.
So I just want to show you. So defiling your woman is categorized just with those who also defile the sanctuary. It's also categorized equal to those who blaspheme the name. It's ask them to give you a 9. They can see the level of high level sin this is.
Give us some 9s if y'all see what's going on, family.
This is a high level sin. It ranks up there with blasphemy, defiling the temple, which is what Solomon did, which caused the rip in Israel. That's how certain sins are very major. This is one of them. This is a very major sin. Very major sin. Whew. This ranks right up there with the sanctuary, defiling the sanctuary, and those who profane his holy name. Will the whole nation together be judged for all the uncleanness and profanation of this man? And I went way off the screen. So I'm at verse 23. And on the day when the sons of Jacob slew Shechem, a written record in their favor in heaven, right? So they got recorded in heaven for killing this man and his people because they did what? Slept with Dinah, which means they did what? Interracial mixed marriages. It's recorded in heaven as what? Righteous and uprightness and vengeance of sinners. And it is written for a what? Blessing. 24, right? I didn't know if I was going to read all the way down, but listen, let's get it.
And they, verse 24.
Let's go ahead and get it. Might as well carry it all the way out.
Verse 24. And they brought forth Dinah, their sister, from the house of Shechem, and they took captive everything which was in Shechem, their sheep and their oxen and their asses and all their herds and all their goods. And they brought forth everything to Jacob, their father. And he spoke with them because they slaughtered the citizens, for he was afraid of those who inhabited the land, the Canaanites and the Perizzites. But the terror of the Lord was in all of the cities which surrounded Shechem.
That's right.
And they did not rise up to pursue the sons of Jacob.
That's right.
Because a dread had fallen upon them.
Ooh-wee.
Sheesh.
Boy, listen. Look, boy, you better not rise up. Hey, if 2 of them killed off a whole city, man, what you think the rest of them sons gonna do? We got 10 more sons and a daddy. And then you know the story, Grandpa popped up on the scene with his. We had like 300. What y'all want? Man, you got together and listen, man. We need to rethink this thing, bro.
Right.
Them some super lights over there.
We need to fall back.
We need to fall back on this one. The terror hit. All right. So now we're gonna go into the law again. We're gonna go into the law again. We're going to Leviticus 21:9. So we can just see all that what we just read. Leviticus 21:9.
Leviticus chapter 21, verse 9. And the daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore,
That means doing what? Sleeping around.
she profaned her father, she shall be burned with fire.
It's not a game in Israel, boy. So we're gonna look up this whore so we can see what all the little whore covers. Somebody gonna say, well. Zanah.
Strong's H2181. Zanah.
What's that?
Zanah said to commit fornication,
Uh-huh.
be a harlot, play the harlot,
So that means she's sleeping around.
to be a harlot, act as a harlot, commit fornication, to
Uh-huh.
commit adultery, to be court prostitute, to be unfaithful to God.
Figuratively speaking, yep.
Figurative. It says to play the whore, to cause commit adultery, to force into prostitution.
And that's what he was saying. Even if for the man who even gives his daughter over, he should be killed and she should be burnt. So it's not a game, bro. Whether it's harlots, adulterers, all this stuff play the same thing. All right. So now we're going to go into some more. Now we're going to go into the precept session. All right. And these are a whole lot of little one-liners. So I'm going to probably come out of screen share. So I ain't going to flick on all these. We're just going to one-line this thing on out. Told you, look, I did good, bro. 2 hours.
2 hours.
I might better beat the 3 hour mark. Total Rabah for your arms, man. Totally greatly appreciate it. Shalom down. Look, I don't know how many we got in the room. Hey, make sure y'all stopping by hitting that like button. We're going to hit the stop sharing so I can get them out of this screen. So let me know if y'all getting some understanding, y'all. Let me know if y'all getting some understanding. This should be a clear spiritual. And listen, when you hear these type of judgments where there's no remission, no atonement, you know what I'm talking about? And it's written on heavenly tablets, not to be mixing with these other nations. I don't know how anybody else get around it. And even if you cool with it, you gonna get the whooping. Because you're not supposed to be cool with sin and lawlessness. It's just not what you're supposed to be on. So we're gonna hit this 1 Kings 11. 1 Kings 11 and 2. I'm gonna fly with you on most of these. These just got a lot of one-liners. And again, I'm gonna put these scriptures up at the end of class. So you definitely have it. So 1 Kings 11. So now we finna do the precept game.
1 Kings 11 what?
11 and 2.
1 Kings chapter 11. Verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in to them, neither shalt thou come into you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love.
See, now you see what Deuteronomy 17 is talking about.
Right.
And what he's talking about with Israel, when we read also in Leviticus.
So now go back to verse 1. I'm going to jump back to verse 1. It says, but King Solomon, so now this is a king. It says, King Solomon loved many strange women together with the daughters of Pharaoh.
Strange women.
Women of Moabites.
Strange women.
Ammonites.
Edomites. Zidonians.
And Hittites.
So listen, he was going so far off. So now what we just going over, imagine how many different nations,
that's what they do,
how many different deities.
17 was talking about.
That's what 17 was talking about.
Because right here it says he's a king, and he only supposed to don't multiply multiple ribs into himself. This is a king that's over Israel or whatnot. Now you're getting the example of what the Most High was saying will come about when the king is over Israel and he's multiplying multiple women into himself, and he got all different nations of women. Now, since he got these different nations of women, like men do, today,
you're gonna compromise,
right? You're gonna compromise with your rib. So now you're compromising with your rib who worship all these different deities. You got the Edomites or whatnot, they got their own god. Then you got the Moabites, you got the Ammonites, you got the Zidonians, you got the Hittites. All these other nations have different deities that they worship. So now Solomon, the king, he's supposed to set the rule down. Like, look, this is the God that I serve. This is the God who we gonna serve. But he didn't. He ended up letting his heart get turned away by his ribs,
because
and then
he clave unto
he
them.
clave into them in love. And then since he clave into all his women, he clave into these other gods, and he sacrificed to these other gods for his women to please his women. That's where he went off at. So when you read Deuteronomy 17:17, when it's talking about the king and the law who it was given to, this is a prime example what the Most High was talking about, as far as a king being set over Israel, not to multiply wives. This is an example.
Strange
wives, right?
Yeah. So strange wives, according to the text, we can see are wives of other nations. Read down to verse 4. So you read verse 2. You know what? If you want to read it all the way through, go read 2, 3, and 4 again.
Yeah, we're gonna read it all the way through. So keep Deuteronomy 17:17 in your mind when you're reading this, fam. It says, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughters of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, the Dodians, and the Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go unto them.
You shall not do what?
Go
into them.
Neither shall they come into you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. King Solomon, clave unto these in love.
And listen, that just means he cherished them, right? Listen, King Solomon, and don't act like you so cold in your Israelite walk and you just woke up that you was more wise than King Solomon, who was the wisest king
ever.
So if he slip up, imagine what you simple coming into a new truth Israelites gonna do. Right. And I ain't talking about nobody.
Right.
I ain't nothing.
Right. Most definitely. Like, man, I was just teaching my rib the other day. I said, look, at the end of the day, Christ shows us it's about applying. It's not just knowing the word, it's applying it, because at the
Bring
end,
it off the paper,
right,
into your life.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, if you really look at what script is showing, just like, okay, Judas and Peter, they actually knew the word. Mm-hmm. They knew the word. Peter was Christ's right-hand man. He knew the word. Physically, he knew the word, right? They walked with the word. They broke bread with the word. They actually knew the word. Mm. Christ told Peter, just like with Judas, you can't serve two masters. What did he end up doing? He served what?
Serving two masters.
He didn't apply the word, but he
didn't apply the word.
He knew the word. He knew the Messiah, but he didn't apply it. What did he tell them? He said, "Look, don't fear the men that can destroy the body, but fear those that can destroy the body and the soul in hell." Right? But guess what? Peter was right there, right? Mm-hmm. Peter didn't apply that, but he knew what? He knew the word. He knew the Messiah, but he didn't apply that script. He didn't apply that teaching that the Messiah told him right then and there. He didn't apply it. So at the end of the day, it's like we have to apply it. You get different examples of how to apply it, not just knowing it. These two men knew the word.
It has to be application of knowledge.
Right. They actually knew the word, but they didn't apply it.
The word is life. Right. That's right, Shambo. That's right, Imam.
Like with even with Dalton Thomas, just like he kept telling them, "Oh, ye a little faith, ye a little faith." He keep telling them, you know what I'm saying? Don't doubt. And then guess what? What did Thomas say? He said, "Look, I ain't gonna believe till I can stick my fingers in his hand." He said, "Blessed are those that believe and have not seen." So exactly. Like, Thomas didn't even apply it, but he knew the Messiah though. So it's like they
ain't that crazy? They knew the word,
but they didn't apply the word. So it's not just knowing; it's about applying it.
Great edification. Great edification. So even though you walk with the word, you gotta have the word not just on paper. You gotta have this paper living inside you. Like it needs to be under your shirt, under your skin, under your chest plate, in your heart, flowing through your heart and pumping through your veins in your mind, to where you sweating the word. You see what I'm saying? So you at verse 3.
Verse 3. And he has 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines.
See, a lot of y'all gave Solomon credit only for 1,000. Actually, he had more than that.
Right. And
read this again.
And he had 700 wives,
700
princesses, and 300 concubines.
He had 300 concubines, 700 wives, but he also had princesses as well.
And his wives turned away his heart,
Not his concubine or his princess.
and his wives turned away his heart.
Let's keep going.
For it came to pass.
They go to fulfillment of that prophecy of Deuteronomy 17.
That's right.
Let's get it.
For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after their gods. And his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father.
And that's it. You keep reading that chapter, get that all the way out. But see, y'all should clearly see at this point it's not a game. So his heart, which is a fulfillment of prophecy, that's why I say the word in Deuteronomy 17 was prophetic and a law.
Right.
Because it spoke to what was going to happen, and it did. And that what Solomon did, rent Israel into both kingdoms that you had by the time Christ came down. To do what? Get his wife back in order. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to go down here. Let's go to Numbers 1 and 8. Numbers 1 and 18. Numbers. All right.
Numbers chapter 1.
Verse 18. Going off.
Numbers chapter 1. My fault, family. Verse 18. I'm sorry, verse 17. And Moses and Aaron took these men which are expressed by their names, and they assembled all the congregation together on this first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees.
So this is right after Passover, because remember the first month is Passover, Abib. So you're dealing with the first, and then the pedigree is the names you see up top, which are what? The sons of Israel.
And their families, by the house of their fathers.
By the house of their what?
Fathers. According to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, by their polls.
So what I'm saying, so it's always dealing with the men, right? The men, or the how you did the pedigree of Israel is based off the men.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? All praises, Brent. All praises, man. May the Most High get the glory and the praise.
All praise.
You see what I'm saying? Let's go to NehemiYAH 13. Now I'm gonna save NehemiYAH 13 for last.
Okay.
Give me Judges 11, 1 and 2. Judges 11, 1 through 2. We're around about 20 more scriptures and we done. I ain't lying though. I ain't lying.
All good.
I think we're gonna beat the 3-hour mark.
Judges, nah.
I doubt it. Yeah.
Judges chapter 11. You said verse 2?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Verse 1. Now Japheth, the Galileanite, was a mighty man of valor. The Lord, and he was the son of an harlot.
He was the son of a what?
A harlot.
Ooh-wee.
And Galilee begat Japheth. And Galilee's wife bore him sons, and his wives' sons grew up, and they thrust out Japheth and said unto him,
why did they thrust him out?
Thou shalt not inherit in our father's house.
Why? Because he was the son of a harlot.
But thou art the son of a strange woman.
Because remember, when we saw in the law, normally that would have never took root, because what would have happened? It would have been killed and burned. But now that the child is born, guess what happened? Put his ass up out of there. Because why? Because you are the child of a strange woman. So people say, well, man, maybe they didn't know when they came into the truth, and you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, what you do now? This is why the word of God is pure. Don't get mad at me. Be mad at the Bible. So you got one witness. You're supposed to do what with him?
It said, then Japheth, verse 2 again. And Galilee's wife bare him sons, and his wives grew up and thrust out Japheth and said unto him, thou shalt not inherit of our father's house, but thou art the son of a strange woman.
Ooh-wee. Did I make that up? Right? Harlot, whore, strange women all fall under the same thing. right? Now we're gonna go to now we're ready to go to Nehemiah 13. Because this no, give me Esdras 10. I'm sorry. Ezra 10. We're gonna read 1 through 3. Ezra 10, because Ezra come before Nehemiah. And we're gonna see how to deal with those children that are born of these type of interracial dealings. And do not get mad at Nehemiah. And don't get mad at me if you don't want to do that in this day and age. That's between you and your God. My job is to deliver the word, you know what I'm talking about, and go into a people that's what? Rebellious, laden with sin, stiff-necked, hard-headed, and they ain't gonna receive you. And they gonna hate you for it. But hey, I'm cool. I got big enough shoulders that I sure can't run. I mean, I can you know, kind of like a kind of tobble away. Hey, look, don't get mad at me, y'all. Because the question comes up. Well, what do we do with the children born thereof? Maybe they weren't in the truth then, they're in the truth now. And they believe and all of that. They don't think we should do it. Because we like them. I'd be on some stuff sometimes. I be sitting there kicking it with myself, y'all. Like I literally have a party by myself. All right. So let's go ahead and go. So we had
What verse you want to say?
Start at 20. I think 23 is where I want to start. Nehemiah 30. Oh, my fault. We in Ezra. I'm jumping again. Ezra, start at verse 1. We're gonna read 1 through 3. Let me go type that in the room too. Ezra 1 through 3. Ezra 10, 1 through 3. Hallelujah, watchmen. Hallelujah. Praise to the Holy One of Israel and his creator.
Right.
It that is written in Isaiah. I leave it up to the scholars to figure that one out. Who the Holy One of Israel is and who is his creator. His maker. Ooh-wee. Hey, hallelujah, man. Listen, we got to stop going against our God, man. Stop sleeping around with other nations. Stop going off whoring spiritually and physically, and get back to our God and our people. And we can rise up out of this. If we take hold of our culture full force, there is no force on this planet that can stop us, because our Elohim got us from above and our back and left and right and front. All right. So we're going to go ahead and read this. Ezra chapter 10, start at verse 1.
Esdras chapter 10, verse 1. Now when Esdras had prayed, and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down before the house of God, there assembled unto him out of Israel a very great congregation of men and women and children. For the people wept very sore.
Right. So when they saw Ezra prostrate before the temple, right, and he go offering up prayers and supplications to the Most High, the great multitude came out with him and was filling them. Right. They wept alone.
And the Checoniah, the son of Jehiel, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra, we have trespassed against our God.
We have did what?
Trespass against our God.
How did they do that?
And have taken strange wives.
What kind of wives?
Strange wives.
Of
the people of the land.
So strange wives are the other nations of the land. The land that he told us not to deal with, because the land of Canaan children are to be what? Uprooted. Why are you letting these children come out of your women, and why are you letting their sons put their children in our women? And why are you putting your covenant in their women?
I mean, if you look at if y'all look at all the commercials, all the ads, all the bulletin boards, all the toothpaste, every commercial that you see now, they're promoting interracials. Yeah.
Or if they're doing homosexuality, they putting a black face in the front.
Yeah.
Especially a black male.
Yeah. It's like they promoting the it's like all day long they promoting the interracial. Only thing I like to make, my salt and pepper. That's about it. No cooking.
That's the only thing you mixing. Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. That's only black and white.
Well, I got a little salt and pepper on my beard, so I don't feel too bad.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? little older light.
I just say we the salts of the earth, so that's mine.
So we the flavor. Just bring the flavor.
But yeah, man, just like they interrate. I'm talking about they showing it every commercial, every ad, every cereal box, every picture. It's like it's interracial marriages. It's crazy.
And listen, man.
They're trying to make everything just like when you look at the babies, man, they just like they look like peach
And
mango.
they think the pretty babies are the mixed babies.
Yeah.
But they the abominations.
They getting lighter and lighter. It's just like they trying to get rid of the nation of Israel. They like, look, since we can't kill them, look, we gonna have our women and men mix with them. So as soon as they mix with them, it's like the seed, like the child start getting lighter and lighter. And then of course, if they raise up into a house where the daddy is black and the mama white, they gonna lean more towards the white side anyway. So now they children gonna marry white children. So it's like it's trying to cut off the seed.
And not only that, what are they being taught culturally? That's the other part we don't have.
The heathen.
The heathen way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then why? To the fact where a child has to pick, do he like his black side or white side? Do I like the side that goes to jail and get killed by the police? Or do I like the side that runs corporate America?
Right. Exactly.
Come on, man. Do I like the side that says I'm not supposed to keep Halloween because it's pagan worship? Or do I like the side that says I can get all the candy I want on the Devil's Day? Or Sam Haines worship day?
Right.
Come on, man. You don't cater to your flesh. You know what I'm saying? And you're supposed to be spirit over the flesh. You know what I'm talking about? You should be on hands and knees in sackcloth and ash, begging for mercy. And definitely not trying to do another dang on sin, because this sin has no remission, no any atonement, and what? It's counted just as bad as defiling the temple. It's counted just as bad as blaspheming the name. And guess what else? The length of this law, I love how I put it, the limit of days. This law is written on heavenly tablets, and it's the expiration date is the limit of days throughout the generations of the earth. It has no outdate, bro. There's no way around it. So what was it? We were sitting here. All right, so it says, we have trespassed against our Elohim and have taken strange wives of the people of the land.
Right.
Yet now there is hope in Israel concerning this thing.
Verse 3. Now therefore, let us make a covenant with our God to put away all the wives.
All the who?
All the wives.
Put away all the who?
Wives.
He said this is the only hope, is that we do what?
Put away all the wives. And such as are born of them. According to the counsel of my Lord. And of those that tremble at the commandment of our God. And let it be done according to the law.
Wait. Tell me what must be done. Do you put them away or do you keep them? I know that's a hard one. But see, nobody takes strong stances against God's law. Right? Man. Total about praise to the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Long live the King, Christ. Yahushua HaMashiach. Man. Is y'all seeing it? He said there was only one hope. It ain't a guarantee, it's a hope. It's a strong belief. If we put them away, we can probably do this thing. You hear me?
Well, it's like a hard pill to swallow.
That's a hard pill to swallow, but we come from a congregation where they was okay with it.
You said we came from who?
A congregation that they was okay with. Didn't teach no difference between what's right or wrong with it. I'm not talking about them at all. I pray that the Lord renders understanding. And that's all. No hateful prayers at all. Put them away. 100% self-proof, got it. Lioness of Judah, got it. Abraham, he got the understanding, because that's actually the judgment. I ain't calling you off, Abraham. That's actually the judgment thereof. They were supposed to be put to death, that they may never have yielded children. But since they wasn't put to death, remember, NehemiYAH dealing with the captivity.
That's what happened with Saul.
So he's coming back. Oh, Saul didn't complete the order to go kill all the Amorites. So he lost favor with the Most High and took his crown from him. Gave all his wives over to David. So God can't be mad at polygyny. He gave David all the Saul wives. Da, da, da. That's from that little TV show Cruise, the little movie. I love that part. I watch that with my grandchildren. And my oldest grandson running around. Da, da, da. And the elephant fell. Whew. I'm going home and watch the Cruise, bro. I'm going to watch the Gentile caveman and his beastly children. I'm going home to watch it and laugh with the eyes and lenses of this truth and bug up. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. So let's read what NehemiYAH said. And listen, who got the perfect spirit? Spirit of his brother, NehemiYAH. He ain't scared to talk that crap, but the man's on you. Deal with your boy. You ain't gonna go against my God. I got smoke for you. Let's get it.
Verse 10. What verse you want?
Nehemiah 13, we'll start at 23
Okay.
and read it all the way out. No, to 31. Oh, yeah, it's all the way out.
Yeah. Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab.
And mind you, and if you go back and study your histories, Ammon and Moab was to never have a place in the congregation of God ever. So what Israel did was not only break the covenant of God, but break it even to a manner where now you could bring your mixed children into the house of God, where it was so that Moab and Ammon could never, ever come into the congregation of God. You see how off we are? The very things that are against God, because you sexing them, you let those spirits come right into God's holy congregation through his holy people. The enemy of God free rides in Israel right into the kingdom. God ain't playing that. Oh, that was my tooth. I had a filling done today. Oh, it's still soft. I did put a silver cap in there.
Silver.
Yeah. Falling apart, man. My teeth falling out while I'm talking. Where the filling. They told me it's gonna take a day to harden.
Verse 24. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod. They could not speak in the Jews' language.
They even lost their language. Go ahead.
But according to the language of each people. And I contended with them. And cursed them. And smoked certain of them.
And what?
And smoked
certain and what?
And smoked certain
hands.
Go ahead. And smoked certain of them and plucked off their hair. And made them swear by God.
Boy, could you imagine? I'm sorry. I'm not going to do nothing bad. NehemiYAH. Right. He grabbed them Hebrews up. He grabbed them birds and hares. I ain't grabbing them literally. And look, you better swear by God not to ever do this again. Read. Right. I just want you to get a visual of what was going on. And whoa. I can't forget this part. Smarts. Okay.
Verse
25 again.
And I contended with them.
I contended.
Right. And cursed them. And smote certain of them. And plucked off their hair. Ooh. And made them swear by God, saying, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons. Nor take their daughters into your sons.
There I go again. That's
or
the law.
For yourselves.
Ooh.
Did not Solomon, king of Israel.
We just read that. Did not Solomon, king of Israel,
sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
And that's that 1 Kings 11, 1-4 that we just read, y'all. You can't make this up. It's called a sin. It's serious. Let's read.
Shall we then hearken unto you to do all these great evils?
What kind of evil is this? Hold on. I want everybody in this room to hear this right now. Read this question and peep the adjective he put on the word evil. Sleeping with these other nations ain't just evil. He called it a what?
Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil?
Great evil.
To transgress against our God and marrying strange wives.
See there? And that's what the book of Esdras we just read in 10 talked about. Let's get it.
And one of the sons of Joiada, the son of Eliashib, the high priest, was son-in-law to Symbolic, the Horonite.
The Horon, boy, they got some Horonites. Boy, this boy been talking to me. Well, I'm going to call y'all some Hebrew Oronites. Horonites.
Some Horonites.
Y'all going off. This is a great evil, marrying these strange women, bro. A great evil that has no atonement, no remission. And guess what it is? It has no limit of days. And y'all can't be okay with it. The Bible says you can't take a stance of it's cool. If they like it, I love it. Do you understand what you be saying when you say dumb stuff like that? I forgot. Y'all kids said Maddie gonna do a class about people. Some people say they ain't even in the Bible. If you like it, I love it. Boy, you going off.
Yeah, they do.
Da. Caveman thinking.
Therefore, I chased him from me. Remember them, oh my God, because they have defiled the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood and of the Levites. Thus cleanse I them from all strangers.
See, he trying to clean them up. And how did he do it? He got rid of those strangers.
And appointed the wards of the priests and the Levites, everyone in his business. And for the wood offering, at times appointed. And for the first fruits, remember me, oh my God, for good.
So he ain't asked for forgiveness for them because he already know there's no remission for it. He said, just remember me for my good. So I'm going to say the same prayer. Lord, please remember this NehemiYAH for his good, for telling your people, leave them strange women alone. And you're supposed to be, half of y'all don't take care of your people for real anyway. Let's just keep it out. Half of y'all don't child support. All that stuff. I ain't going to get into your personal. You're going off. So we just hit some one. We're going to run through the book of Proverbs, man. I think they got it out.
Yeah.
So we hit Sirach. Want to hit 3 apocryphal scripts and we'll hit it. And I'll put all those scripts in the class. And then we can be done. Get that 10 o'clock praying and we done in a decent hour. We gave them good 3 hours. Almost 3. Let's go ahead and do the apocryphal ones. We're going to do, so we're going to go to first Esdras. We're going to go back into the apocrypha and read 3 more scripts. If y'all want me to keep going, I got some more one-hitter quitter precepts. Matter of fact, I'll read them. So I'm going to have Uriel pull first Esdras. As soon as I forgot how to spell it. 8. 8, 69, and 70. All right. That's that. Then we're going to go to Sirach 26, 20, and 21. And then after that, we're going to go to Tobit. And if somebody had already put it in the room, yeah, that Tobit even tells you need to be married within your own tribe. That's even an upgrade. You ain't supposed to be married outside your own tribe. That's what Tobit trying to tell you. You want to read it off your phone?
Yeah, I guess. First Esdras, chapter 8, verse 69. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and the Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land.
See, that's the problem. You're supposed to be putting them away from you. All of us, the princes, the prince, you know what I'm saying? The priests, the people, Supposed to getting rid of all these people, not mating with them.
Nor the pollution of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, and Edomites. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land.
A holy seed, your holy sperm, your holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land, and you still doing it. These scriptures were given to you for an aforetime for your learning. What are you not learning? Let's get it.
And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity.
So he said, not only the regular people, but the rulers, and who else?
The rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity.
Our people has been taking on this iniquity far too long, bro. When will Israel stop? When are we gonna stop sinning against our Elohim, man? When? And this is a sin a lot of us love and don't realize. This is a sin that has no remission, no atonement for it. There's no sacrifice you can do for this sin. But this is sin the black man runs to the most. Right. Jumping into some, you know what I'm saying, quabah of a heathen. And I don't mean just color. Because the heathen nation are dark nations too. Don't get it twisted.
And you trip off verse 72.
Bring it out.
It says, verse 71. It says, and as soon as I had heard these things, I rent my clothes.
He did what?
Rent my clothes and the holy garment, and pulled off the hair from off my head.
He plucked his own hair out when he heard this. And what?
And buried, and set me down, sad and very heavy. So all they that were then moved at the word of the Lord of Israel assembled unto me, whilst I mourned for the iniquity. But I sat still for the heaviness until the evening sacrifice.
You see how grievous this was for you to marry another nation? This man plucked out not only his hair out, his beard out, rent his holy garments, and it was heavy on him. That's major. Today, the man gonna get the Gentile woman, white or black, gonna get a blunt, take her out to eat, kiss all in her mouth in public. You know what I'm talking about? Smack her on the booty, hug her, hold hands with her. You know what I'm talking about? Take her around his family. This is my baby. What? Well, if you don't take your dirty dog out this house, you boot mouth looking, I want a heathen loving boy about to get smacked down, turned around and turned down. Oh, you gonna find. Oh, what did Samson father tell him in the book of Judges? Out of all the daughters of Israel, you can't find one? You want a Philistine uncircumcised? No, there's 12 tribes, right? You can't find one, brother. You're the strongest man in Israel. You just kicked 1,000 brothers' butts with the jawbone of a booty. Of an ass. I ain't want my mama Shamboozle to get on my head. You just whooped the whole 1,000 with the jawbone. Man, you can have any quabah in Israel. But you had to go after the strange woman. And what did that strange woman call Samson? He revealed this secret bed buddy over there with that pillow talk.
Pillow talk. Yeah.
Pillow talk. Got his hair cut off, blinded, and put to shame. But our God won't be mocked. That's right. And Samson suffered the judgment for that sin he did. You know he did, right? Because then Samson died. He said, Lord, I know I'm worthy of death for this, what I did. But just give me enough strength to take your enemies out with me. That boy had that Rocky music in his head. I could have pushed the pillars apart too, you know what I'm saying? But I left that miracle to my man Samson, you know. He had something to prove, not me. You know what I'm talking about? So, but he did suffer the judgment. So don't get it twisted and think that God had faith, because the Looperite will come here and say, well, God didn't punish Samson for what he did. God didn't punish Solomon for what he did. Yes, he did. Every man that took on a strange wife, this great sin they did suffer. Because the wages of sin is what? Yeah. And all of them what? All of them did. All right. All righty. Sirach 26. Sirach 26, 20 and 21. I did type it in the room already. All praises, y'all. How we looking? We good? Shalom, Sister Odelia, servant of Yah, Dana Marie, Shalom is there. I've been seeing y'all come out, not everyone.
What
Simply
verse?
J.
What verse you want me to show that?
26, 20, and 21, just those two verses. I'm reading when you are.
Sirach chapter 26, verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession.
When thou hast got a fruitful possession.
Through all the field, sow it with thine own seed.
Sow it. Remember, because the Bible said what? We're not to mingle seed in the field. Told you, the God is not a mixer. He ain't a rap artist. He's not a mixer light. He's a pure light.
Trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent. So
that race, see what he compared it to?
Right.
Read that race part one more time. See, the Most High was liking that. That's what I told you earlier when we was reading that law about the cattle and the mingling of the seed. That's why that was so spiritual. Because now you're finna see the other part of that spiritual context.
Right. So thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent.
See what I'm saying? You're supposed to leave behind confident of a good race, a good descent, an unmingled seed, not having minglites. All right, so we're going to go to Tobit 4 and 12. And we're going to probably, I might run through a few of these Proverbs just for quick reads.
You said Tobit 4 and 12?
Yeah, Tobit 4 and 12. Because Tobit 4 and 12 talks about we're not even supposed to be mad. Right. Listen, he said, man, stay within your own nation. I mean, but if you is going to go off, at least go off with another Israelite. At least. Nice.
Tobit chapter 4, verse 12.
Oh, they say read the they say read it from the top. Read it from the top. Deut said read it from the top. So start at verse 1. Whoa. Start at verse 1. Let me see that. Bro, you going off. Hey, you know what though, man? You know, we'll do it though. All right. Verse 1. Let's retype this thing. Tobit chapter 4, verse 1. 1 through 12. I know it sounds Asian, don't it? Minglites. But you know, Hebrews come up with some words, boy. We're very creative. All right, go ahead, bro.
Tobit chapter 4, verse 1. In that day, Tobit remembered the money which he had committed to Gabriel in rages of Media, and said with himself, I have wished for death. Wherefore do I not call for my son Tobias, that I may signify to him of the money before I die? And when he had called him, he said, my son, when I am dead, bury me, and despise not thy mother. But
not burn me, that Greek culture of burning your dead.
Right.
We always buried our dead.
Bury me, and despise not thy mother, but honor her in all the days of thy life. And do that which shall please her.
That's right.
And grieve her not.
That's why he's putting his son charge over his mother, right? Because a woman should always have a covering. So he's petitioning his son, hey, take care of that business when I'm gone for your mother. All right.
Verse 4. Remember, my son, that she saw many dangers for thee.
Remember that.
when thou was in her womb, and when she is dead, bury her by me in one grave.
Boy, that's a burial plot. Now, I ain't never tripped off of that. To bury her in the same plot.
Yeah, that's what my grandma did. She
Buried on top of her grandfather?
Nah, she when she died, like before she died, she said bury me on top of my daddy. She said bury me on top of my son. So when she died or whatnot, she got buried on top of my old dude.
That's what's up. That's deep. I'm kind of digging it a little bit. Bury her by me in one grave. That's deep.
Yeah. So it's like resurrection or whatnot. They rise together.
Rise together. Something. I feel that. I feel that. That's deep. That's deep. All right. Verse 5.
Verse 5. My son, be mindful of the Lord our God in all thy days, and let not thy will be set to sin.
That's right.
Or to transgress his commandments.
Mm-hmm.
Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the ways of the unrighteous,
which is unlawfulness, which is wickedness.
For if thou deal truly, thy doing shall prosper, succeed to thee, and to all them that live justly.
And that's that Joshua 1:8-9.
Give alms of the substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thy eyes be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor.
That's right.
And the face of God shall not be turned away from thee.
Ooh-wee. So give your arm. And listen, we're supposed to support each other. We are all supposed to be in a ministry of supporting each other, because that's what makes us mighty as a nation.
Right.
The support and love of each other towards each other. Because we definitely supposed to be a part of them.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 8. If thou hast abundance, give alms according.
That's right.
If thou have but little, be not afraid to give according to that little.
That's it.
But thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity.
That's right.
Because that arm do deliver from death, and suffer it not to come into darkness. For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High.
That's right, man. That's right. Hallelujah. And look, I give myself. I be up here teaching. Y'all see me pop, hey, from the house of NehemiYAH. That's just what we do. But it's sometimes alms it's not always a monetary thing, because also, it could be food, it could be wine. We got some sisters that come here every week. Shout out to E Baby, A Baby, and Whitney. The three sisters. They definitely come here. NehemiYAH Shambula always come here with something to eat. You know what I'm saying? She and not only that, NehemiYAH goes out and ministers and helps and heals in the community. If somebody give her something, she donates that gift to somebody. Like, it's a beautiful thing when Israel is helping Israel, and ain't nobody looking for nothing. Just the love of our God to give. You know what I'm saying? And that you storing up treasures in heaven. Man, it's amazing. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Beware of all whoredom.
Some whoredom.
All whoredom.
All whoredom.
My son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
Ooh-wee.
And take not a strange woman to wife.
There it go again.
Which is not of thy father's tribe.
See there?
For we are the children of the prophets, Noah.
Which is Noah. Yep.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
Ooh-wee. All the great forefathers married their own kindred. And for that, all the seed shall inherit the land. Don't talk about those other seeds that comes all out of breaking the order and mingling, right? Being Horonites.
Just put me, back to like today.
Hey. So I mean, we kind of cool, man. You want to run through some of these proverbs? You got that list I sent you, don't you? I sent you in the text. We can land back off each other, just quick runners. We got 1 minute for the official 3-hour mark. We still got 30 minutes, so we still get this prayer in at the right hour. Not be out of time, out of sync with the hour of prayer. These just all Proverb 1 hitters. No more than two let's go ahead and run it out. It ain't hard. We talking about, hey, y'all, we got about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Proverbs scriptures just to bring this on home. But listen, out of this class, now, did y'all figure it out yet? Should Israel intermarry or mix? And is it a sin? Oh, we just answered. Is it a sin? Is interracial marriage a sin according to the Bible? Because if you got that much, then you know the answer to everything else.
Right. Show got me. I'm like, dang.
Hey, man, all praises, family. Hey, listen. I want to obey the Spirit as well. I can say, hey, let's do it. I kind of like, yeah. You know what? Shut your butt up and do what the Spirit say.
Man, you went back and forth.
Yeah. Hey, let me shut up and do what the Spirit say, man. So look, hallelujah. And listen, keep your brother tight, man. We need those scriptures, especially those about the arms, because we should all be about that help.
Help. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. And definitely, again, thanks to everybody who give, had the mind to give, the will to give. Thanks for everybody who provide hands. We have people that provide things that ain't even monetary. They mail something here, like to the children or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they marry dresses, marry mailed Bibles, mailed dresses. I said married.
Yeah, just
going off of like.
They're tripping off that interracial marriage. Huh?
Man. But yeah, man, we should be solus Hebreus. Solus Hebreus.
Poetic justice. Huh?
You hear me? Straight for us. That's it. Don't get mad at me because, like you said, Linus of Judah got it. It was called a great evil. A great evil so great it has no remission, no atonement, and it has a length of days in generations of earth. Not generations of man. It said generations of earth. We read that in that Pseudo's Book of Jubilee 62. Man. All right, so we're just gonna run these Proverbs. Which ones you want to do? Which one you want?
I'm in fire.
All right, I'll go 2. We're gonna just run through these, and I'll put them in the room later on. They ain't got nothing to say.
Proverbs chapter 5, verse.
And look, they'd be quick to wait to put away a Judite daughter. You know what I'm saying? How our brothers will get with a woman and put that Judite daughter away with no issue. When you tell them to put away they Gentile heathen snow bunnies and them children, boy, we about to lose subscribers. Boy, I think this might get more thumbs down. Put away my heathen. Man. Anyway, so you gonna start at 5:18 through 23. When you done, I jump to the next one. Then you jump to the next one. Go.
Proverbs chapter 5, verse 18. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. That's right. Let her be as the loving hind and the pleasant rope.
You know what? That's cold. That's cold.
Keep going.
Oh, yes.
Verse 19 again. Let her be as the loving hind and the pleasant rope. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times. And be thou ravished always with her love.
Yes. Hey, Poppy, be infatuated. That's what that's saying, sister. Always be infatuated with her love.
Verse 20. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman? And embrace the bosom of a stranger?
Why you hear that? Why would you do that? You want them strange women all up in your bosoms? Ew.
For the ways of a man are before the eyes of the Lord.
Yes, it should be.
And he pondered all his goings. His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself. And he shall be holden with the cord of his sins.
Of his sins for doing it.
He shall die without instruction. And in the greatness of his folly, he shall go astray.
Y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that smoke.
Sheesh. That's scary.
That's scary,
Verse
huh?
23 for sure.
Man, you don't want, listen, it says he shall die, so he dead. So where you think he going in folly? And where you going straight to? Ain't no place left to go but to that. Okay. So I'm going to read this Proverbs chapter 2, verse 16 and 17. To deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger, which flattereth with her words, which forsaketh the guide of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God. See how that happened? Because a woman get carried away, bro. You sin it. All right, that's why we do these one hitters. Go to 5 and 3.
I'm gonna take 5 and 3 to 6.
All right.
Proverbs chapter 5, verse 3. For the lips of a strange woman drop as in honeycomb,
Sound good.
and her mouth is smoother than oil.
Look good. Slick ox.
But her end is bitter as wormwood,
Ooh-wee.
sharp as two-edged sword.
I'll let you keep that. That's how you got an STD. It's like you got that P burn.
Her feet go down to death,
Her feet go down to happiness,
to death,
to life.
to death.
Mess with them strange women, take you down to death.
Her steps take hold of hell. Ooh. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable.
Or ways of what?
Are movable,
Ooh-wee.
that thou canst not know them.
Mm.
Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth.
Please do not depart from the wisdoms. And that's Solomon, right? Proverbs. I mean,
It said, hold up. It said, remove thy way far from her.
How far?
Far from her.
Okay.
And come not unto the door of her house.
Boy.
Lest thou give thy honor to others, and thy years into the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and the labors be in the house of a stranger. And thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, how have I hated instructions, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instruct me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. Drink water out of thy own cistern, and running waters out of thy own well. He said, look, get it from your own seed, from your own tribe, because he's talking
from your
about
own well.
From your own well. He's talking about the women. Get your water from your own well. Don't go into a stranger's land trying to get
drinking of his well.
Drinking of his well, because he's talking, and you gotta think about it. He's talking to Israel, but he's giving it into like a parable. He's kind of like speaking like a parable, but then he's talking about himself. So that's why he can tell it to you how it is, because he's giving an example of what he did.
Exactly.
He's talking about himself. This Proverbs chapter 5, he's talking about himself, because he went a horn after these other strange women, and he saw everything that he did going after their gods. He's like, I was tripping.
So look, I'm glad you brought that out. Are y'all catch what my brother's saying? Uriel just brought out, listen, why you think Proverbs got so many verses and hitters about strange wives? Because he learned from it. He went through it and he learned from it. So when you read the book of Proverbs, like that chapter 6 deals with like the beware of like adulteries, the crafty of a harlot. It's like chapter 7, you know what I'm saying? 7 and 5 says what? That they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, and beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding. And so he knows the craftiness of harlots. He knows the plays of strange women. That's why Solomon got so many scriptures after strange women, because he went through it and knew his great sin for it. So now, with that being said, I think I can go ahead and end the class. That's why Solomon got so many hitters, because he knew. So y'all, give me a 100 if you understand And then give me a percentage on your understanding if you don't. 10% understanding if you don't. 1%, 0 understanding. Give me 100 if you got understanding of what we just went through tonight. Do not marry or intermarry, mix with these strangers. Interracial marriage is a sin punishable by death, and there is no remission, atonement, and this law is the length of days and is as long as the generations of the earth, not of man, but of the earth, which is far older than man. All right? Give me 100 if you understood tonight. If not, give me the percentage of your understanding, and then we'll tarry with you. And then I'm going to find us a song. We might need a Proverbs. You got one? I said, boy, I might need a Proverbs to close out with dealing with these strange women. All right. Well, while you get our people pray, hey, enlighten them on anything you got to say. I'm going to let them out. I know we should pray out.
Shalom, family. Beautiful lesson. I got me some understanding myself. I remember probably like 2-3 years ago, he brought it to my attention, man. We were going back and forth about it. I disagreed with him at first or whatnot, just putting it out there on the chopping block. I disagreed with him. Didn't agree with anything that he was bringing forth during that time, but we never really got into depth until tonight. So, I mean, with that being said, man, I actually sat here and got me some understanding myself. So, how y'all doing, though, family? Haven't seen y'all in a couple of days. Ready, bro?
Yeah. Man, I'm going to walk on now.
Good. Poppy Shoes, Shalom, my sister.
You need any more water?
No, I'm good, bro.
Man, I know I'm going to be a leaker light.
You see a leaker light.
I'm going to be leaking all the night, baby. All right. You know all this water I done drank. But I feel good, bro. Feel good to get this man because, I've been on this a long time. And, I talked, to many people about this, I'm saying in that manner. And I was just told I couldn't bring this out.
Right. That's why I was telling him. I said, look, man, we disagreed about a couple years ago. I just was like, nah, man.
I remember because you went to Nehemiah 13 and you said he's talking about just those specifics.
Yeah, we was at Bro Crib.
I remember.
In the front room. Yeah.
I remember. Yeah. Because you was like, listen, he's only talking about these nations in Nehemiah.
Yeah.
But then as you see, all praise to the Most High, for edification, because it ain't about me or you, it's not about who, right?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
about
what's right.
What's right.
And
that's the maturity of men, especially brothers in the truth. You know what I'm talking about? And listen, man, you ain't even had a bad word at each other.
Right.
Never. You see what I'm saying? You my brother. And this ain't always about agreeing with me. But when we come to the scripture and we read them together, let the word of God be true.
Man, hey, look, it was so funny though. Today I was getting a new phone. I was like, man, I'm not even finna get this phone right here because I don't want Nehemiah saying
And tell you, Nehemiah will carry the conversation all night
for $6.
And look, and brothers love their heathens. Brothers love their heathens. Well, man, what if I just get her to believe in our God? I can't be with her? No. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Psalms 143, the Most High's permission. Hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear to my supplications. In thy faithfulness answer me, and in thy righteousness. And enter not into judgment with thy servant. For in thy sight shall no man living be justified. For the enemy have persecuted my soul. He has smitten my life down to the ground. He have made me to dwell in darkness, as those that have been long dead. Therefore is my spirit overwhelmed within me. My heart within me is desolate. I remember the days of old. I meditate on all thy works. I muse on the works of thy hands. I stretch forth my hands unto thee. My soul thirsteth after thee, as a thirsty land. Selah.
Selah.
Hear me speedily, O Lord. My spirit faileth. hide not thy face from me, lest I be like unto them that go down to the pit. Cause me to hear thy loving kindness in the morning, for in thee do I trust. Cause me to know thy way wherein I should walk, for I lift up my soul unto thee. Deliver me, O Lord, from my enemies. I flee unto thee to hide. Teach me to do thy will,
That's
for
right.
thou art my God. Thy spirit is good. Lead me into the land of uprightness. Quicken me, O Lord, by thy name's sake, for thy righteousness' sake. Bring my soul out of trouble. And of thy mercy, cut off my enemies and destroy all them that afflict my soul. For I am thy servant.
Hallelujah!
Selah.
Yahoo!
Yes, sir.
Excellent class, bro.
Oh, praise
Man, thank you for always answering the call for your brother.
Yes, sir.
Man. But I want to say something to you,
My
people.
brother.
I know you ain't just let me see your face, so I ugly you
My brother.
Well, I ain't supposed to think.
Shalom, family.
All right, y'all. Yahoo! Oh, wait.